This is an ad by BetterHelp. What's your perfect night? Is it curling up on the couch for a cozy, peaceful night in? Therapy can feel a bit like that. Your comfort place where you replenish your energy. With BetterHelp, get matched with a therapist based on your needs, entirely online. It's convenient and suited to your schedule. Find comfort this season with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com to learn more and save 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woo-hooer, a hand clapper, a high-fiver? If you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. Choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome to Air Checks and the last episode of the year. This is our New Year's Day celebration special. To kick it off, here is Abbott and Costello's New Year's Eve episode from December 31st, 1948.
Hey, Abbott, what time is it? It's 8 o'clock, Costello. We're on the air for PBQ Gasoline, here in Hollywood. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go with the Abbott and Costello Show.
It's the new transcribed Abbott and Costello Show with their new singing discovery, Susan Miller and Matty Melnick Orchestra. So hold on to your chairs, folks, for here they are, Bud Abbott and Lou Costello.
Well, here I am, Costello. What are you so happy about?
Well, it's wonderful here in California, Abbott. The sun is shining, the flowers in their buds, the bees in their honey, the cats in their honey.
Wait a minute, Costello. Cats don't have any honey.
No? Then why does our cat stay out until 4 o'clock every morning?
Look, never mind that. What are you doing with that knife and that gun stuck in your belt?
Abbott, all California drivers carry a knife and gun. What for? So they can shoot up one street and cut down the other.
Well, you better drive carefully tonight because it's New Year's Eve, and the streets are very crowded.
You're telling me? Coming down here, a girl, she blew a horn right in my ear. So what? Took me 2 years to get it out. Our whole family is going to stay up until midnight, Abbott.
To welcome in the New Year?
No. None of them have worked in a year and a half, and they want to hear what a factory whistle sounds like.
Well, I suppose they'll all be celebrating tonight.
Oh, indeed. All but my Uncle Mike. Aunt May made him sign the pledge. It was as easy as a twist of the wrist.
How did she do it?
She twisted his wrist. Hey, Abbott, what have you got in that big bottle?
Champagne. That's Mum's.
Oh, that champagne is Mum's?
Certainly.
Brother, will your mum be loaded tonight?
No, Costello. It's Mum's champagne. That's the best kind. When you open the cork, pop.
The champagne is Mum, and the cork pops?
That's right.
That's a pretty picture. Mum gets all the champagne, and Pop winds up with the cork.
Why didn't you come to my house tonight, Costello?
Not me, Abbott. I remember your party last year. What games we played? Drawing pictures, and then...
Hey, wait a minute. Remember how I drew a picture of a taxi cab on the wall?
Yeah, and at 4 o'clock, we all got in it and drove home? Well,
will you keep quiet, Costello? That's enough from you. Give my friend here a chance at the microphone.
I'd like to bring you greetings and best wishes, too, from some men you ought to know.
There's Jim Anderson up in San Francisco, George Clay, Los Angeles, Daniel Brenning in Walnut, California, and A.W. Thornton out in Ontario. And then, too, there's Herman Geldo Apodaco in Cucamonga and another Los Angeles man, Everett L. Miller. Who are they? Well, they're some of the new PDQ independent dealers, some automotive experts, men who operate their own filling stations, who've decided that PDQ has the quality, the reputation, and the value they insist on giving their customers. That's why these new PDQ dealers, like so many before them, have decided to stake their personal business success on the PDQ name. We're proud to welcome these men into the PDQ family. More and more independent dealers are selecting PDQ as the gasoline to sell. For these men know that what's good for your car is good for their business. And they know that motorists get more for their money when they fill up with PDQ. And now, Abbott and Costello.
Costello, put that gun down. What's the idea of bringing that gun into the studio? Oh, that ain't a real revolver, Abbott. It's a cigarette lighter. I'll tell you how it works. I'll put the cigar in my mouth, and when I pull the trigger, it will light my cigar. Now, you'd better be careful. That's a pretty short cigar. Watch out for your nose. Don't worry. Oh, well, things don't smell too good around here anyway. Talk sense. What's the idea of having that big piece of mistletoe pin on your hat? Christmas is through. Yes, but I ain't. Yeah. You idiot. The old year passes out in just a few hours. And you'll be far behind it. Oh, cut that out. Last year, you beat it by 8 lengths. Costello, what's that you've got on your hand? It's a New Year's card from Fibber McGee. What does it say? I don't know. You have to wax it 3 times a day for 3 months before the message comes out. That's it? Oh, continue. Thank you. What are you made up for, Abbott? What's that thing you're wearing? Oh, it's a sport coat my wife gave me for Christmas. I thought it was a little too short for a bathrobe. You don't guard yourself. You look tired, Lou. I am tired. The bus was so crowded I had to stand up all the way into Hollywood. You did? Yes, my legs got so numb I had to pinch them to see if they were mine. Is that so? Yep, my case comes up tomorrow. Well, that's no excuse for being late. Costello, what takes you so long to get here every week? What do you do in the morning? Oh, Abbott, I'm a busy man. I'll give you a brief outline of a day in the life of Lou Costello. At 6 o'clock, my alarm clock rings. I jump up and shut it off. I said I shut it off. I said I shut it off! Abbott, I know we're trying to keep down the budget on a show, but I think we could afford a better alarm clock. Never mind. Go ahead. Quietly, I open the door of my room. Quickly, I close it, come back in the room. What happened? I forgot to dress. After I finished dressing, I opened the door again. Hey, what's the idea of all those locks and bolts on the door? I can't be too careful, Abbott. There's a gorgeous red-headed bubble dancer lives across the hall from me. And you put all those locks and bolts on your door? No, she did. Oh, continue. Go ahead. Well, I don't want to disturb anybody, so I tiptoed down the hall. I'm wearing my heavy underwear, you know. Now I sneak down the back stairs. What happened? There's no back stairs. I step outside into a typically beautiful California day. I forgot there was a slight fog. All right, then what did you do? I strolled leisurely down the street, tipping my hat to the left and right. I pick up about $8 that way every morning. Costello, you'd make a perfect mate for an idiot. Thanks, Abbott, but you'll have to ask my mother first. Costello, are you going to turn over a new leaf this year? After this year, I won't say any more nasty things behind your back. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Hereafter, I'm going to say them right to your face. And another thing, I'm giving up drinking hard liquor. You dummy, you don't drink hard liquor. I know, that's what makes it easy to give it up.
Well, it's Susan Miller.
Hello, Susan. How are you? You look lovely tonight. Would you give me a kiss?
Well, I might give you a good, innocent kiss.
A what?
A good, innocent kiss? Don't you know what good, innocent kisses are?
No. What good are they?
Well, never mind that. Why don't you take Susan to the Rose Bowl tomorrow, Costello? Come on.
Oh, no, thanks.
Oh, all right. Don't go to the game with me.
That's no way to talk, Costello. After all, they only hold the Rose Bowl game one day a year.
Yes, and I found out why. Why? It takes the other 364 days to get home.
Oh, it isn't that crowded, Louis.
Oh, no. 2 years ago, the people were packed in so tight that the girl next to me fainted. I picked her up in my arms and started for the exit.
Yes?
Yes. 2 first aid men rushed over to me and said, "We'll take her." I says, "Oh, no, you don't. There's more in there. Go in and get your own."
Well, see what you've done? She'll never go with you, Tom.
Well, I'm going alone anyway, Abbott. I wouldn't miss that Rose Bowl game for anything. You know, my whole family are football players.
They are?
Oh, sure. My oldest brother was a fullback, and my youngest brother was a tackle. And when I was born, my mother looked at me and said, "Pop, this is the end."
Costello, I don't think you ever played football.
Oh, no? I was captain of the Cucamonga Washwomen. We were a scrub team.
That must have been some football team.
I'll say it was. We had the cutest little redhead cheerleader. Every Saturday when the game started, I would grab that little cheerleader and run down the field.
Grab the cheerleader?
Yeah.
You're supposed to grab the ball.
You grab what you like, and I'll grab what I like.
Costello, I'll ask you a few questions about football. Now, what team has the best line?
Michigan.
All right. Who has the best offensive?
Theo Plenty.
No. Who has the best offensive?
George Tech.
And who has the best back?
Eddie Lamar.
Costello, pay attention. Now, let's say you're in a game. The opening gun is fired, and the fullback kicks off. What do?
I put on my Dick Tracy bag and grabbed the guy who fired the gun.
What for?
You said that some guy fired a gun and the fullback kicked off. I know a murder when I see one.
I'll forget him. Now, the team springs into action. The captain fades back to make a pass.
That's a pretty sight. One of his best friends just kicked off, and this guy starts a crap game.
Please pay attention. Now they're in formation. The ball is snapped from center, and the quarterback makes a hole in the left guard.
This is terrible. First, the fullback kicks off. Now somebody put a hole through the left guard. Abbott, call the FBI. Get the Lone Ranger. Get Jane Russell.
What do you want with Jane Russell?
You get her. I'll think of something.
Costello, keep your mind on the football game now. Now the halfback tries a line plunge and loses 2 feet.
And I suppose nobody worries about that either.
Certainly not. What's 2 feet to the halfback?
Well, I guess if he had to, he could run through the rest of the game on his knees.
Don't worry. On the next play, he gets those 2 feet back. And probably a couple of more.
It'll have 4 feet.
Certainly.
Brother, is he in trouble?
What do you mean?
Have you tried to buy shoes lately?
No. There's a game going on. Look. Time has just been called. The players are refreshing themselves from the water bucket.
What's so funny?
The tackle just stumbled and kicked the bucket.
How can you stand there laughing when these poor fellas are out there dying like flies?
Let's get on with the game. They're calling timeout again. Looks like trouble.
Uh-oh. What's the matter now?
One of the fellas just sprained his little finger, and his teammates are worried. This is serious.
This is serious? So far, 3 guys have been slaughtered and nobody says a word. All of a sudden, some sissy sprains his little finger. Everybody's running for the doctor.
Wait a minute. The opposing team left the ball unguarded, and the end runs out and falls on the ball. Now the referee is running out. He's jumping up and down, waving his arms. That means the ball is dead.
That did it, Abbott. I didn't say nothing when you said that the guy fired that gun and the poor fullback kicked off. I held back my tears when the quarterback stabbed a hole into the left guard. I only stifled a little when the halfback lost his 2 feet, and I tried to be brave when that tackle kicked the bucket. But when you stand there and tell me that the poor little ball is dead, you have not only blackened the fair name of football, but you have cast aspersions on the clean American sport of parcheesi, croquet, dominoes, not to mention skip the rope. more hijinks in a minute, folks, but first, a few remarks on another subject.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we pause in the midst of this gay hilarity to bring you word of the late, the scientific, the interesting, and instructive aspect of what learned men of many leading institutions have called the internal combustion motor, and you. Step in closer, please. Give those in the chance in the rear a chance to hear. Now, you, sir, is your tank low? Not you, Lou, the man in the purple coupe. Very well, sir. I have here an object that is 5,280 feet long. It's called a mile. You will find 2 to 6 of these miles.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Recently, a new client called me and started by saying, Mr. Morgan, I really need your help, but I'm just a nobody. Those words stunned me, and I immediately called him back, and we're now helping him and his family after a terrible accident. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Everybody who comes to our firm at their time of need is a somebody. I grew up poor, but my grandmother was like a queen to us. At Morgan & Morgan, our goal is to level the playing field for you and your family at your time of need. The insurance company has unlimited money and resources. You need a firm who can fight them toe-to-toe. For right at 30 years, we have fought them in courtrooms throughout America. Our results speak for themselves. And always remember this, everybody is a somebody, and nobody is a nobody. Visit forthepeople.com to learn about our firm. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Extra one, you understand? In each and every gallon of PDQ gasoline you buy. In the untutored mind, it is a feat of most uncommon magic that so many, many long and happy miles of motoring can be put into the small space of a single tank full of PDQ. But, get the windshield too, Lou. Scientific tests have shown time and again that the miracle men of PDQ have harnessed the energy of petroleum to give you more for your dollar. Don't take my word for it. Don't strain, feel, sniff, taste, or listen for those extra PDQ miles. Just put a tank full in your car and watch. Observe closely and you shall see the extra PDQ mileage on your own speedometer. Not an advertising stunt, not a special offer, but a bona fide transaction between you and the independent PDQ dealer. PDQ gas is sold during the performance and afterwards at your neighborhood PDQ station. Kindly remain in your seats now for the Abbott and Costello Show.
And now, here is vivacious Susan Miller with Matty Malnick and the orchestra.
Said, don't get yourself in a sweat. When things look gray, just shrug and say, it must have been from my ex. So if your temper gets a top hand, all you gotta do is just stop and pass that piece. I'd bury that hat, you'd like the Choctaw Chickasaw, Chattahoochee Chippewa Zoo. If you're feeling mad as a wet hen, mad as you can possibly get, then pass that piece. I'd bury that tomahawk like those Cherokees, Cherokees, the Boltepec. Don't be cranky, try to use a little restraint. Fold that hanky and wipe off all of that war paint. And if you find yourself in a fury, be your own judge and your own jury. Pass that piece, right, bury that hat, you like the Choctaw, Chickasaw, Chattahoochee, Chippewa Zoo. Write that apology and dispatch it. When you quarrel, it's grand to patch it. Pass that piece, right, bury that hat, you like the Choctaw, Chickasaw, Chattahoochee, Chippewa, and those Cherokees, Cherokees, the Boltepec, and those Cherokees, Shepherdess and Chickapees, Toot, Chungo, Chattanooga, Chickaroos.
With old acquaintance be forgot, and friends you hold so dear. But when you hear the bells at 12 o'clock, the good humor man is here. Oh, chocolate vanilla.
All right, cut it out, Costello.
Oh,
Listen, when you cut it out, it's not 12 o'clock
come
yet.
on in.
It's not 12 o'clock yet.
Do.
Look, now, I want you to start the new year. I want you to start... Will you listen to me, please? I want you to start the new year with a resolution.
Huh?
I want you to start the new year with a resolution.
Why? Why should I start a resolution? I'm satisfied with the government we got now?
No. I mean, don't you want to start the new year with a clean sheet?
Yes, and clean pillowcases, too.
Costello, I'm telling you about good resolutions.
things you are going to do next year.
Oh, them kind of resolutions.
Yeah.
I made a whole list of them. I wrote them down on a piece of paper. First, I will not misplace anything.
What's next?
I don't know. I can't find the paper.
Can't you remember any more of them?
Oh, yes. I promised to give up gambling. I'll never make another bet.
You'll never stick to that.
How much you want to bet? And here's my list, Abbott. Resolution number 1, stop spending my money on girls. Number 2, stop flirting with girls. Number 3, stop necking with girls.
Good. What's number 4?
Ignore numbers 1, 2, and 3.
You have nothing on your mind but girls. Were you out with a girl last night?
No, I spent the evening at home. I lit a warm, cheery fire in my living room, but my landlord objected.
Why?
I don't have a fireplace.
Never mind that. What is that you have rolled up in your pocket there?
It's a beautiful calendar for next year. Mr. Schultz, my butcher, gave it to me, and look, it's got a picture of Mr. Schultz's grandfather on it.
You idiot, that's a picture of Father Time. See, he's got a long white beard, and he's got a sickle in his hand. So, you know what that sickle is for?
To cut his beard?
No. Whenever you see Father Time, you'll find the old man's sickle.
The old man's sickle?
Certainly.
Why don't they call a doctor?
Hello.
They shouldn't let an old man run around sickle. He's liable to catch the hoople-couple. That could develop into streptococcal of the knuckle. He'll wind up in a hospital.
No,
Didn't care much for that chuckle.
all right.
The yuckle?
The sickle I'm talking
I
about.
don't go.
Will you listen to me? The sickle I'm talking about is the scythe.
Huh?
It's a scythe.
What side? What side are you on? My
No.
side?
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? You just said that the old man was sickle on the side. If he's sickle on the right side, it could be very dangerous. He might have appendicitis.
No, look. Look, Costello, Father Time and his sickle represents the old year. And this little baby's picture alongside of him on the calendar is the new year.
Oh, Abbott, he's a cute little baby, but he certainly wears expensive clothes.
Expensive clothes?
Look at the price tag on his diaper. 1948.
Wait. That's a 1948 calendar. And 1948 is a leap year.
In California, every year is leap year.
No, I can see. You don't look at the dates on that calendar.
I can see you don't look at the pedestrians on Hollywood and Vine.
Leap year is different from other years.
Well, what makes it different?
Well, it's the year when girls pursue the men. It's the year the girls chase men. It's the year when the girls trick the men into marrying them. Any questions?
Yes. What makes it different?
Leap year comes once every 4 years. It's controlled by the stars. Have you ever studied the stars?
Yes. Lots of nights I lay out in my backyard and look up at a big diaper.
That's Big Dipper.
That's
You don't know the stars.
That's big diaper. You don't know my backyard.
All right,
Let's go back to the sickle. That was a good one.
Never mind. How do you manage to accumulate such an abundance of ignorance?
I keep in touch with my congressman.
Oh. Tonight is New Year's Eve. Now, what are your plans?
I'm taking Ruby Pool Cue to a party, and we're going to play that new game I invented, Pony Express.
How do you play Pony Express?
Just like post office, with a little more horsing around.
You shouldn't run around with that Ruby Pool Cue.
Well, why not, Bud? I took her to a party last night, and if it wasn't for Ruby, the party would have been a failure.
Why?
They couldn't find the bottle opener, and she was the only girl there with buck teeth.
Costello, why do you go steady with such a homely girl as Ruby?
Homely girls are the best kind to go steady with.
How do you figure that out?
Some guy takes her away from me, I don't lose nothing.
Costello, Ruby Pool Cue is not for you. She's uneducated.
Oh, she is not. Ruby went to college. She went to Notre Dame.
Now, wait a minute. How could Ruby go to Notre Dame? That's a boys' school.
Abbott, if you play football, they don't ask no questions.
You won't make any mistakes in the new year. I'm going to get you a horoscope.
A what?
A horoscope. You know, horoscope.
I don't know horoscope, but I know his brother Horace Height.
Oh, come on, Costello. We're going to visit an astrologer and see what's in store for you for the coming year.
You are in the presence of the great Madame Zaza.
That's a funny name.
Quiet, Costello. Quiet. Madam Zaza, I brought Costello here to get his horoscope for 1948.
Very well. Now, Mr. Costello, tell me, what sign were you born under?
What sign was I born under?
That's right.
This kid thinks I was born under a billboard.
No. Costello, she's talking about a zodiac sign.
Yes. What is your sign? Taurus the bull or Leo the lion?
Burma the shade.
Never mind that. Tell her what day you were born.
Thursday?
How do you know it was Thursday?
Was the next day we had fish?
Costello, in your case, I will have to predict your future by the bumps on your head.
But I ain't got no bumps on my head.
I will now predict your future by the bumps on your head. Costello, in 1948, you will be very lucky. You're a good businessman.
She's right, Abbott. Madam Zaza, I would have been a wealthy man today except for one thing.
Well, what's that?
I never had any money.
Please, finish reading the bumps on Costello's head.
That was the funny one. Sickle was the funny one.
Hold your head down. Go ahead, read those bumps, Madam Zaza.
This bump shows me that you will meet a gorgeous blonde. And this bump shows me that she will hug you and kiss you and hug you and kiss you and then...
Tell me more.
Well, I can't. You don't have any more bumps.
Madam Zaza, hit me once more.
Aha! Now I can see your character. You are a very shy and bashful boy.
Costello, shy and bashful?
She's right, Abbott. I never told you this. I'm so bashful I keep the bureau in my room turned toward the wall.
Why?
So its drawers won't show. I would rather go back to Sickle.
All right, never mind this thing. Enough of this. Madam Zaza, what does Costello owe you for the reading?
$10. But if he pays me $20, I'll give him a lucky gypsy trinket.
Okay, here's the $20.
And here's your trinket.
Hey, this is nothing but a glass of water.
Well, go ahead and drink it.
Abbott, I think that Madame Zaza's nuts. Did you notice all the geraniums she had?
Well, that's nothing. Lots of people have geraniums.
Growing out of their heads?
Oh, come on, let's walk back to town. I suppose you're going to Ruby's party?
No, I'm going to stick with you, Abbott. We'll have a big New Year's Eve.
Now, that's fine.
Hey, Abbott, the people in that house are they having a doozy of a party? Come on, let's crash it. Come on, we can have a lot of fun.
Hello, boys. Come on in. Enjoy the fun. Hey, we're busting up the joint tonight. Whoopee!
Say, whose house is this?
I don't know. I just got here myself. Hey, come here. Help me throw this can out the window. Come on, let's live.
Okay, here she goes. Hey, Abbott, boy, is this fun. Come on, here. Throw this lamp out the window.
Whoopee! Hey, give me the lamp, Costello. Happy New Year!
A lamp like that at your house?
Don't stop me, Abbott. I'm rolling. Here goes the sofa.
Hey, Abbott, come on, let's rip the pictures off the wall. Hey, what do you know? Here's a picture of me.
Me? Hey, Abbott! This is my house.
Well,
Happy New Year, everybody.
the boys will be back in just a few seconds, folks, but first we want you to hear this.
Tonight, we bring you the only commercial you'll hear this New Year's Eve that is not flavored with Auld Lang Syne. This one is to be flavored with PDQ mileage-stretching gasoline. Now, we'll forgive you your past purchases of, other brands. No more for me, thank you. And we'll turn over a new leaf, a PDQ leaf. No, I'm doing fine, thank you. And beginning tomorrow, or maybe the day after, we expect you to drive into the neighborhood PDQ service station and fill her up. No, really, I'm quite happy. Fill her up with that superb power, that traditional extra mileage, that dependable service which have made PDQ gasoline and the independent service station men who sell it the favorites of so many motorists, these many years. And you want to know something else? This old world would be a better place if more people used PDQ gasoline. That's what. Okay, now, Oh, just one lump. Now, I think we're probably running a little late tonight, so you may or may not hear 1947's final thing of the Abbott and Costello show. Let's stick around and find out.
Here are Abbott and Costello with our final words.
Well, Costello, in a few hours we'll be starting a new year, 1948. And I want you to save your money next year.
I will, Abbott. I'll start right now saving on stamps for New Year's cards. I'm sending my greetings right now. A happy New Year to everybody, including my family, your family, Joe Bozzo, Mary Bozzo, Uncle Artie Stebbins, Aunt May and Uncle Mike, my mother, my
Happy New Year, everybody.
in the world. Happy New Year to everybody all over the world.
Wednesday night at this time for another great Abbott and Costello show, produced and transcribed in Hollywood by Charles Vanda and featuring Susan Miller and Matty Malnick's orchestra. This is Michael Roy saying goodbye until the same time next Wednesday. This is ABC, the American Broadcasting Company.
That was Abbott and Costello's New Year's Eve episode from December 31st, 1948. Here is our Miss Brooks's babysitting on New Year's Eve from January 1st, 1950.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? If you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. Choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Recently, a new client called me and started by saying, Mr. Morgan, I really need your help, but I'm just a nobody. Those words stunned me, and I immediately called him back, and we're now helping him and his family after a terrible accident. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Everybody who comes to our firm at their time of need is a somebody. I grew up poor, but my grandmother was like a queen to us. At Morgan & Morgan, our goal is to level the playing field for you and your family at your time of need. The insurance company has unlimited money and resources. You need a firm who can fight them toe-to-toe. For right at 30 years, we have fought them in courtrooms throughout America. Our results speak for themselves. And always remember this, everybody is a somebody, and nobody is a nobody. Visit forthepeople.com to learn about our firm, Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Colgate Dental Cream to clean your breath while you clean your teeth and help stop tooth decay. And Luster Cream Shampoo for soft, glamorous, caressable hair bring you Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden. It's time once again for another comedy episode of Our Miss Brooks, written by Al Lewis. Well, as some of you may remember, last night was New Year's Eve. Well, like everyone else, our Miss Brooks, who teaches English at Madison High School, had looked forward to celebrating with considerable anticipation. But as the poet Robert Burns put it, the best laid plans of mice and men gang aft to gley.
I don't know about the men, but I'm certainly one of the mice Robbie had in mind, because last night somebody really ganged up on my gley. Everything started off normally enough Saturday morning as I joined my landlady at the breakfast table.
Here, Connie, here's some tomato juice. It'll do you good, dear.
What is this, a down payment on tomorrow morning?
Oh, you won't need any tomorrow. Not if you come to my party tonight.
What kind of a party are you having, Mrs. Davis?
Very quiet, Connie. I've just asked some of the neighbors in to listen to the radio and maybe dance a bit. It'll be a nice, relaxed evening. Of course, I am having some help with the refreshments.
Who's helping you?
Barney, the bartender from Mulligan's Saloon.
That should lead to a very relaxed evening, earlier than you think.
Oh, he's not going to serve any whiskey. You see, ever since he's been working for Mr. Mulligan, Barney's insisted on having New Year's Eve off.
Why is that?
He can't stand drunks. Barney likes nothing better than to drop over here and make us a little friendly bowl of punch. If I remember correctly, Connie, you sampled some of Barney's punch last year.
I almost did, Mrs. Davis. Somebody jostled me as I was about to drink some, and I spilled it on my black evening gown.
I don't remember that at all, Connie.
I do. It started a run in my dress.
Oh, you're exaggerating, dear. It was a very mild mixture. Why, we even dipped lady fingers into the punch bowl after a while.
I know. And a little while after that, the lady fingers were diving into the bowl. Oh, I'm just teasing you, Mrs. Davis. I'd like nothing better than to share a little punch with you tonight, but I probably have a date with Mr. Boynton.
Probably. Hasn't he asked you yet, Connie?
Oh, you know Mr. Boynton. It takes him a week to get enough courage to speak up. You'd think he'd know where he stands by now. I've dropped him enough hints, heaven knows.
Hints?
Just yesterday, I told him I thought there was nothing quite as exciting as the scent of an orchid and the popping of champagne corks.
Do you think it'll work, Connie?
Indubitably, Mrs. Davis. He'll probably take me into a florist shop and let me smell an orchid while he cracks his knuckles.
Mr. Boynton isn't the biggest spender in the world, is he, Connie?
No, I think there's a Maharaja in India who spends $8 or $9 a week more. But after all, Mr. Boynton is a school teacher, and he probably just can't. Now, who can that be? Come on in. It's not locked.
Finished with your cereal, Connie?
Yes, thanks.
Oh, good morning, Miss Brooks, Mrs. Davis.
Hello, Mr. Boynton.
Now, isn't that a coincidence, Mr. Boynton? I was just going to clear away the table and clear out.
Oh, what's coincidental about that?
Now she's got a good reason to.
Exactly. See you later, folks.
Take your time, dear. Well, Mr. Boynton, this is rather a surprise visit.
Yes, Miss Brooks, I guess it is.
Want a cup of coffee?
All right.
Keeps pretty hot in this percolator. There you are.
Thank you.
Well, that was fun. What'll we do now?
Well, tonight, as you know, is New Year's Eve, Miss Brooks.
Yes, I know.
It's the one night in the year I believe in celebrating. You see, the only fun a bachelor can have, especially a bachelor school teacher, is to really let go once in a while.
Might also be fun to hold on once in a while. Don't look so shocked. I'll withdraw the statement. Strike that from the record, clerk.
The one thing I'm so grateful for, Miss Brooks, is that our relationship has always been completely honest and above board. I can talk to you straight from the shoulder.
You certainly can, Mr. Boynton.
I don't have to beat around the bush.
No, you don't.
I can come right to the point without stalling.
I hear you talking.
I don't have to mask my real intentions with a lot of pseudo-diplomacy.
Never no pseudo-diplomacy.
Well, what I'm trying to say, Miss Brooks, is that, well, several weeks ago, I promised to attend the Biologist Club New Year's Eve party at the Club Jamboree tonight.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun, Mr. Boynton.
Oh, I'm sure it will be. But the ticket cost $5, Miss Brooks, and, well, I only had enough for the one when I bought it. And, well, since then, I've had some unexpected holiday expenses and just haven't been able to afford another one. Of course, I'd love to ask you to join me tonight, but I couldn't very well invite you to pay for your own ticket, could I?
You could, but I couldn't. Pay for it, I mean. I've had some holiday expenses of my own, Mr. Boynton. 2 whole weeks of eating.
Well, I'm terribly sorry we won't be together, Miss Brooks. As a matter of fact, I suspected you were just as broke as I am. That's why I came over to see you now.
What do you mean, Mr. Boynton?
Happy New Year, Miss Brooks.
Same to you, Mr. Boynton. And thank you for a lovely morning.
That's all right, Miss Brooks.
Now let's sing 2 choruses of Old Lang Syne, and this'll be the earliest I've ever folded on New Year's Eve.
Please don't be annoyed, Miss Brooks. I'll be thinking about you tonight. From the minute I sit down in that nightclub and pick up my noisemaker.
Well, thanks, Mr. Boynton. I'll be thinking of you, too, tonight, as soon as I sit down by the window and blow my tin horn.
Well, I guess I better be running along now. Get cleaned up for the big night.
Yes, you do that, Mr. Boynton. I've got to help Mrs. Davis with the dishes. Forgive me if I don't walk you to the door.
Certainly. Well, see you next year, like they say.
Don't take any wooden biologists. Now, that's just dandy.
What's just dandy, Connie? Oh, where'd Mr. Boynton go?
Home to rest.
Oh, we've got a big night ahead of us, eh?
We've got a big night ahead of him. Mr. Boynton is going to the biologist party alone, Mrs. Davis.
Alone? But why, Connie?
He just can't afford to take me with him. The tickets are $5 a copy. Now, if I had $5, I could... Mrs. Davis.
I'd be happy to, Connie.
You would?
Of course, but I haven't got a quarter. I spent my entire budget for this week on tonight's party.
Oh, well, thanks just the same, Mrs. Davis. No sense in worrying about it, I guess. New Year's Eve is just another night.
Maybe that's Mr. Boynton again. I'll finish up in the kitchen, Connie.
Come on in. The door is still open.
Good morning, Miss Brooks.
Mr. Conklin, what fortuitous circumstance brings Madison's esteemed principal to the humble abode of a lowly faculty member?
You've seen your share of Charlie Chan movies, haven't you? If you'll forgive me, Miss Brooks, I shall skirt the preliminaries and get right to the point. Firstly, Mrs. Conklin is visiting her sister, who has a touch of rheumatism in Philadelphia.
That's a bad place to get it.
Let's dispense with the fripperies, shall we? Secondly, her sister has sent their little boy, age 6, to spend the holidays with my daughter Harriet and myself. Thirdly, I've promised Harriet she can go to a New Year's Eve party tonight. And fourthly, I have a dinner engagement with some old professor friends of mine from state normal days.
But I don't understand, Mr. Conklin.
At this late date, it is almost impossible to secure a babysitter, Miss Brooks.
Now I understand. I'm sorry, Mr. Conklin, but I've been sitting with children for years now. I'm afraid I'm going to be busy tonight.
Ah, what a pity. It would only be until 10 o'clock, and I was contemplating payment of, say, $5.
I'd like to help you, Mr. Conklin, but it's really out of the question for me to... Did you say $5?
That is correct.
Where and when?
7:30, my home.
I'll be there, Mr. Conklin.
Thank you, Miss Brooks. Thank you very much. Don't bother seeing me to the door. I know the way.
Thank you, Mr. Conklin. Thank you very much. Yes, indeed. Mrs. Davis! Mrs. Davis!
Yes, dear. What is it?
Well, it's going to be a happy New Year after all. I'm going to sit with Mr. Conklin's nephew until 10 o'clock, and he's going to give me $5.
He must be quite a well-to-do little boy.
Mr. Conklin's going to give me the $5. Don't you see, Mrs. Davis? Now I can buy my own ticket to the club jamboree and see the old year out with Mr. Boynton after all.
Oh, how nice for you, Connie.
Oh, just one thing, Mrs. Davis. On our way to the club, may I stop by here to pick up some lady fingers?
But doesn't the $5 you pay include a midnight supper, Connie?
Yes, it does, Mrs. Davis.
Then what in the world do you want with lady fingers?
We've got to have something to slip the waiter.
Starring Eve Arden will continue in just a moment. But first, here is Vern Smith. Now, proof that brushing teeth right after eating with Colgate Dental Cream helps stop tooth decay before it starts. Continuous research, hundreds of case histories, makes this the most conclusive proof in all dentifrice research on tooth decay. Eminent dental authorities supervised hundreds of college men and women for over 2 years. One group always brushed their teeth with Colgates right after eating. The other followed their usual dental care. The group using Colgate Dental Cream as directed, using Colgates exclusively, showed a startling reduction in average number of cavities, far less tooth decay. The other group developed new cavities at a much higher rate. No other dentifrice offers proof of these results.
Modern research shows decay is caused by mouth acids, which are at their worst right after eating. Brushing teeth with Colgates as directed helps remove acids before they harm enamel. Yes, Colgates contains all the necessary ingredients, including an exclusive patented ingredient for effective daily dental care.
So remember, always use Colgate Dental Cream to clean your breath while you clean your teeth and help stop tooth decay.
Well, I phoned Mr. Boynton and asked him to meet me at Mr. Conklin's home at 10 that evening. At 9:30, I was still trying to get little Stevie into bed. Now listen, Stevie, it's getting awfully late. Just when do you propose to go to sleep?
Well, as soon as I get another glass of water.
But I've given you 3 glasses of water in the last half hour. What do you do with them?
I drank 2 and gave 1 to my animals.
It can get lonely climbing Mount McKinley, so to entertain myself, I go to ChumbaCasino.com. At Chumba Casino, I can play hundreds of online casino-style games for free, like online slots, bingo, Slingo, and more. Plus, I get a daily login bonus. It's just too bad that up here, I don't have anyone to share my excitement with. Woohoo!
Live the Chumba life. Anytime, anywhere. Play for free now at ChumbaCasino.com. VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Recently, a new client called me and started by saying, Mr. Morgan, I really need your help, but I'm just a nobody. Those words stunned me, and I immediately called him back, and we're now helping him and his family after a terrible accident. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Everybody who comes to our firm at their time of need is a somebody. I grew up poor, but my grandmother was like a queen to us. At Morgan & Morgan, our goal is to level the playing field for you and your family at your time of need. The insurance company has unlimited money and resources. You need a firm who can fight them toe-to-toe. For right at 30 years, we have fought them in courtrooms throughout America. Our results speak for themselves. And always remember this, everybody is a somebody, and nobody is a nobody. Visit forthepeople.com to learn about our firm. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
See? Uncle Osgood bought me these toys for Christmas.
They're very nice. Now get into bed, please.
Well, first tuck my lion in the bed.
All right. There, your lion's in bed.
Now my tiger.
Okay, your tiger's in.
Now put my Black Panther in.
Right, the Black Panther's tucked in. Now I'll just tuck... Stevie, why aren't you getting into the bed?
Who do you think I am, Clyde Beatty?
I wish I had a book on child psychology with me. A nice heavy one. Come on now, shove that menagerie aside and get in.
Okay.
Hello?
Is that you, Harriet?
Your daughter's dressing for her date, Mr. Conklin, but thanks for the comparison.
On the phone, all voices sound alike to me. How's my nephew, Miss Brooks?
Fine, Mr. Conklin. He's in his zoo. In bed.
Good, good. Has the dear little fellow floated off to dreamland yet?
Not quite, but one more glass of water should do it. There hasn't been any change in plan, has there, Mr. Conklin?
Why, no, Miss Brooks.
Then I can expect you in about half an hour?
I'm afraid it'll be considerably longer than a half hour, Miss Brooks. I'm staying over with some friends.
But you said you'd be back at 10.
That's right. I'll be back at 10 a.m.
Oh, but Mr. Conklin...
Awfully nice of you to do this for me, Miss Brooks. Good night and a happy New Year to you.
Oh, this is terrible. Harriet! Oh, Harriet!
Yes, Miss Brooks?
Your dad just called and told me he won't be home until tomorrow morning.
I know. He's staying with some old friends of his. From Normal.
There's nothing normal about it. When I agreed to act as Stevie's sitter, I thought your father would be back at 10 tonight. I have a date at that time with Mr. Boynton.
Oh, that's a shame, Miss Brooks.
Maybe I could call your dad back so we could make some other arrangement. Do you know where these friends of his live?
No, I don't. But don't get panicky. We'll think of something as soon as I finish dressing. Oh, that must be Walter Denton. Will you let him in, please? I'll just be seconds finishing up.
All right, Harriet. Coming.
Miss Brooks, I want a glass of water.
Quiet, Stevie. Darn kid. If it weren't for him, I could go... Take it easy. I'm coming.
Happy, happy, happy New Year, Miss Brooks.
Come in, Walter.
Isn't it a wonderful night to see the old year out on? Aren't you just in love with tonight, Miss Brooks?
I'm crazy about it. Harriet will be ready in a few minutes, Walter.
Ah, dear Harriet. You know, that's what I like best about this holiday. The feeling of closeness it gives you to the one you care for. Especially during that one breathless, rapturous moment right before midnight. That moment like the hush of a giant wave ere it pounds mightily upon the golden sands. That tongueless moment of promised ecstasy culminating in a crescendo of clamorous, amorous bliss.
Have you ever been hit with a 6-year-old child?
Gosh, Miss Brooks, you don't seem very happy about New Year's.
Haven't you got a date with Mr. Boynton?
That's just the trouble, Walter. I have. But I also have a date to sit here with Mr. Conklin's nephew, Stevie, until Uncle returns in the morning. It was all a misunderstanding, mostly on my part.
Gee, that's a tough break, Miss Brooks. Isn't there any way out for you? I know. Maybe you could hire a babysitter to sit in your place. Of course, it couldn't be just any ordinary person. It would have to be a very special kind of sitter to fill your shoes.
You never were great in anatomy, were you, Walter? But that wouldn't work either. Even if I had the money, which I haven't, it's too late to get anybody now.
Well, here I am, Walter. How do I look?
Devastating, Harriet. Absolutely soul-destroying.
How do you think I look, Miss Brooks?
Very atomic, Harriet. You should be the center of all eyes at your party.
Gee, I kind of hate to go with you in this spot, Miss Brooks. Did you tell Walter about your dilemma?
Yeah, she did, Harriet. But we can't seem to think of any way out.
Oh, don't worry about me, kids. I'll just celebrate New Year's Eve some other night.
Maybe when Mr. Boynton comes to pick you up, you could talk him into staying here with you instead of going to his old biologist club party.
Yeah, there's a swell phonograph and some keen records you could dance to.
Maybe I'll do that. In fact, I may do that even if Mr. Boynton doesn't stay.
Miss Brooks, I want a glass of water.
Excuse me, kids. I guess I didn't tuck him in tight enough. I'll be right there, Stevie. You run along to your party and have a good time.
You're certainly noble, Miss Brooks.
I'm not noble. I'm stuck. Go ahead now. It's almost 10 o'clock.
Noble or stuck, you're solid, Miss Brooks.
Thanks, Walter. Maybe Mr. Boynton will notice it and stick around a while.
I sure hope so.
Me too. Have the best possible New Year's under the circumstances, Miss Brooks.
I'll do my best. So long, kids.
Hey, did Cousin Harriet go out with Walter Denton?
Yes, Stevie, she did.
He's an idiot.
He's very fond of you, too. Here's your water.
Oh, thanks. Hey, could I also have an ice cream cone?
No, Stevie, no ice cream cones at this hour.
With a pickle in it?
That's different. You've got to have your vitamins. No, I'm just fooling. You've eaten quite enough for one night.
Are there any pickles in the house?
No, but I'd gladly let you have the one I'm in.
Well, here's my glass. Hey, better leave it near the pitcher. I might get hungry again.
Mm-hmm. Thirsty. Oh, that's Mr. Boynton. Now, you put your little head down and dream you're a battleship.
Okay. Good night, Miss Brooks.
Good night, Stevie. I'll be right there. Oh, come in, Mr. Boynton. My, but you look handsome tonight.
Oh, thanks, Miss Brooks. You look quite handsome yourself. I'm glad to see you already. I'm just raring to go.
Well, unrare yourself, Mr. Boynton. I'm afraid I can't go with you tonight.
But you said on the phone that Mr. Conklin will be back.
Yes,
and you...
that was before he called me again. He won't be here until tomorrow morning. I can't leave Stevie alone. But I've been thinking, Mr. Boynton, we could have quite a nice time right here tonight.
Here? You and me?
And the phonograph. There are some fine records stacked over there by the sofa.
But, Miss Brooks, we have no chaperone.
Who has no chaperone? I'm here.
I'm sorry, Miss Brooks. I've already paid for my ticket, and the other members of the club expect me at the club jamboree. In fact, I promised I'd be there by 10:30.
Well, it's only 10 now. You could stay for a little while. Here, sit down on the couch, Mr. Boynton.
Well, I guess I could stay for about 10 minutes or so.
Fine, we'll have a million laughs. Do you like records, Mr. Boynton?
Oh, yes, I do. Oh, say, here's quite a pile of them. Let's see what some of the titles are.
That should be fun. Here's a batch for you. I'll go through these.
Don't you think you're sitting rather close to me, Miss Brooks?
I know I'm sitting close to you, Mr. Boynton.
Well, I mean, I'm a little off balance. I don't want to break any records.
Don't worry, you won't. Oh, say, here's a great old number. If I could be with you 1 hour tonight.
I'm a lone cowhand.
Baby, it's cold outside.
Don't fence me in.
I'm in the mood for love.
It's too late now.
I can dream, can't I?
All right, Louie, drop the gun.
Everything I have is yours.
I got plenty of nothing.
Drink to me only with thine eyes.
I want a glass of water.
Quiet, Stevie. You've had all the water you're going to get. Now go to sleep.
Okay. Don't get petulant.
Maybe you should let him have it, Miss Brooks.
I'd love to let him have it. He's had quite enough, Mr. Boynton.
Oh, say, here's a beautiful number. The Bells of St. Mary's.
Oh, that is beautiful. Excuse me, Mr. Boynton.
Oh, before you answer it, Miss Brooks, I'd like you to know I've changed my mind. I just can't stand the thought of you spending New Year's Eve alone, so, I'll call my friends and tell them not to expect me. That is, if you still want me to stay here with you.
If I still want you, Mr. Boynton, don't move from that spot. Be right there. If I still want him, he says.
Hi, it's us, Miss Brooks. We just couldn't stand the thought of you spending New Year's Eve alone. Come on in, Walter.
Oh, but what about your friend's party, Harriet?
We told them we weren't coming, Miss Brooks. Walter and I have decided to spend New Year's Eve right here with you.
With me? But Mr. Boynton's here.
Oh, hello, Harriet, Walter. How are you both?
Oh, fine, thanks, Mr. Boynton. We came back to help Miss Brooks celebrate the New Year.
Well, good. The more the merrier. I'm staying here, too.
Wonderful. We'll have our own party, the four of us. Won't that be just the end, Miss Brooks?
It'll be the end of something.
Well, I've certainly had a good time so far.
So have I, drinking Cokes and playing records.
Oh, it has been rather exciting at that. Don't you think so, Miss Brooks?
Thrilling. I can hardly wait until midnight.
What are you going to do then?
I'm going to crack open a brand new bottle of sweet air and spray the kitchen.
It's almost midnight now. Gee, I wish Daddy were here.
That would be all I need.
Turn the radio on, Walter. The Club Jamboree is broadcasting their New Year's Eve party.
Oh, okay, Mr. Boynton.
Poor Daddy's missing all the fun. He and those old professors of his probably played a few games of chess and went to bed about 11:30.
Well, perhaps it's for the best, Harriet. Your father's a very high-strung man. Too much noise isn't good for him.
I've got the station.
Well, it's 2 minutes to midnight, folks, and here to give you the signal at the stroke of 12 is one of our most distinguished citizens and an honored guest of Club Jamboree. Here he is, your friend and mine, happy-go-lucky, gag-a-minute, Osgood Conklin.
Osgood Conklin?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for that charming introduction, Professor Young.
That's him, all right.
I have just time before the old year is dead to tell you lovely people that a funny thing happened to me on my way to the club tonight. A panhandler stopped me outside the door and said, "Mister, I haven't had a bite all week." So I bit him.
Oh, great. Madison's next principal will probably be Milton Berle.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. Everybody needs some variety in life. That's what I love about Chumba Casino. They know how to keep things fresh and exciting. All their games are free to play, like spin slots, bingo, and solitaire. You can claim free daily login bonuses, too. And they release new games every week. So spice things up with ChumbaCasino.com now for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Recently, a new client called me and started by saying, "Mr. Morgan, I really need your help, but I'm just a nobody." Those words stunned me, and I immediately called him back, and we're now helping him and his family after a terrible accident. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Everybody who comes to our firm at their time of need is a somebody. I grew up poor, but my grandmother was like a queen to us. At Morgan & Morgan, our goal is to level the playing field for you and your family at your time of need. The insurance company has unlimited money and resources. You need a firm who can fight them toe-to-toe. For right at 30 years, we have fought them in courtrooms throughout America. Our results speak for themselves. And always remember this, everybody is a somebody, and nobody is a nobody. Visit forthepeople.com to learn about our firm. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Now, when I give you the signal, let's get those noisemakers going and really let her rip. There are only 5 seconds to go. 4, 3, 2, 1.
I can't understand what got into Daddy tonight.
Maybe it was some of Mrs. Davis's fruit punch.
Oh, gosh, Harriet, your dad's entitled to have a little fun once in a while. After all, people are only human.
Well, it is New Year's Eve.
It sure is. And it's midnight, too, Harriet. You know what that means.
I guess so, Walter. Well, come on, I'm all puckered.
Well, here goes, Harriet.
Mr. Boynton, do you see the work that's going on in the next yard?
Yes, I do, Miss Brooks. And although I must admit I'm a rather diffident person most of the time, I feel that this being New Year's Eve, I can take a certain liberty.
Liberty? You can take shore leave.
Well, I'm ready if you are.
I'm puckered, Mr. Boynton.
I'm thirsty, Miss Brooks.
Well, that's done it. If you'll forgive me, Mr. Boynton, I'm going to pour 3 glasses of water.
3? But who are the extra 2 for?
You and me. We might as well be loaded as the way we are.
Eve Arden returns in just a moment, but first...
Dream girl, beautiful luster cream girl.
Tonight? Yes, tonight, show him how much lovelier your hair can look after a Luster Cream shampoo. Luster Cream, world's finest shampoo. No other shampoo in the world gives Kay Daumit's magic blend of secret ingredients plus gentle lanolin. Not a soap, not a liquid. Luster Cream shampoo leaves hair 3 ways lovelier. Fragrantly clean, free of loose dandruff, glistening with sheen, soft, manageable. Even in hardest water, Luster Cream lathers instantly. No special rinse needed after a Luster Cream shampoo. So gentle, Luster Cream is wonderful even for children's hair. Tonight? Yes, tonight, try Luster Cream shampoo.
Dream girl, beautiful luster cream girl. You owe your crowning glory to a luster cream shampoo.
Ladies and gentlemen, we take pride in announcing that the poll of newspaper and magazine radio editors taken by Motion Picture Daily for Fame magazine showed that Eve Arden was voted the best radio comedian in 1949.
Thank you. My sincere thanks to the radio editors, Motion Picture Daily, and Fame magazine, and to every school teacher and pupil, as well as their parents and friends, a very happy New Year. Good night.
Next week, tune into another Our Miss Brooks show brought to you by Luster Cream Shampoo for soft, glamorous, caressable hair and Colgate Dental Cream to clean your breath while you clean your teeth and help stop tooth decay.
Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden, is produced by Larry Burns, directed by Al Lewis, with music by Wilbur Hatch. Mr. Boynton is played by Jeff Chandler, Mr. Conklin by Gail Gordon. Others in tonight's cast were Jane Morgan, Dick Crenna, Gloria McMillan, and Jeff Silver.
Be beauty-wise, get bath-size Palmolive soap for beauty care all over. Yes, for your tub or shower, enjoy the same glorious beauty lather that millions of women have found so wonderful in bringing lovelier complexions in just 14 days.
Simply buy the big, thrifty, long-lasting bath-size Palmolive. Use it for your Palmolive soap facials. Enjoy its oceans of creamy, beautifying lather in your tub or shower. And say, men love it, too. So let the whole family enjoy bath-size Palmolive.
Yes, be beauty-wise. Get bath-size Palmolive soap today.
For mystery liberally sprinkled with laughs, listen to Mr. and Mrs. North, the exciting, fun-packed adventures of an amateur detective and his beautiful wife. Tune in Tuesday evening over most of these same stations. And be with us again next week at this same time for another comedy episode of Our Miss Brooks. Bob Lamont speaking. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
That was our Miss Brooks's babysitting on New Year's Eve from January 1st, 1950. This Harold Peary's barn dance is broadcast on December 27th, 1950.
The Harold Peary Show. And now, Harold Peary as Honest Harold the Homemaker. Well, let's look in on the little town of Melrose Springs this crisp December evening. Honest Harold, like the rest of us, is in that pleasantly dazed holiday condition. He is just recovering from Christmas in time to build up his strength for New Year's. Right now, he's bidding goodnight to his new romance, the lovely Theodora.
Oh, this has been a wonderful week, Haroldy Waroldy.
Sure has, Theodora. I've seen you every night.
I just love the holiday season, don't you?
Yeah. I'll never forget Christmas Eve when I gave you that wristwatch. You threw yourself in my arms and kissed me. Remember?
Do I?
Let's try that again, shall we?
But, Harold, how could we ever recapture that special moment? Christmas, the wristwatch.
Well, you sing Jingle Bells and I'll start ticking. Yeah.
Oh, Harold.
Oh, well, I guess I can wait. Tomorrow night's New Year's Eve, and you know what happens at 12 o'clock. All Lang Syne is kissing time.
Harold.
Yeah.
You haven't told me where we're going New Year's Eve.
I want to wait and surprise you. I won't tell you till tomorrow.
All right, Teddy Bear.
Theodora.
Yes.
How about a little kiss?
Now, Harold, you'll have to wait till New Year's Eve.
Uh-huh. Isn't it strange, Theodora? New Year's Eve comes at different times all over the world. Why, right now, probably it's New Year's Eve in Honolulu.
It is?
Yeah. Pucker up, Theodora.
Harold.
Yakahula hickey doola.
Harold, you're not eating your breakfast.
Huh? Well, Mother, I was just thinking about New Year's Eve party tonight and what a good time Theodora and I are going to have.
Oh, I think it's nice the way you and your old friends get together and have a party every New Year's Eve.
Yeah, they can have their big city swanky affairs. I bet we have a lot more fun right here in Melrose Springs at our New Year's barn dance.
Yes, we love the dear hearts and gentle people that live in our hometown.
That's right, Mother. We may have cider instead of champagne and play corny games like pin the tail on the donkey, but it's fun.
Oh, yes. Remember last year's party when Dr. Yancey was trying to pin the tail on the donkey and he jabbed the pin in one of the guests?
Yeah, that was me. That's when I was bobbing for apples, Mother.
I suppose Theodora thinks a barn dance is quite a novelty.
Well, I haven't told her yet. I thought I'd surprise her.
Oh, Harold, don't you think you should tell her? She might expect something fancier. You know, she's from Kansas City.
Yeah. No, she'll love it, Mother.
Well, I think
Say, I told Doc and Pete I'd help them decorate the barn this morning. I better get over there.
But you ought to drop by Theodora's and let her know what she's supposed to wear tonight.
Where? Oh, I'll see you later, Mother. I'll tell her to wear a gingham dress. She'll look like Daisy May, and I'll be her little Abner.
Shall I pass the Kickapoo Joy Juice, son?
What? Mother. Oh, brother. See you later. Doc and Pete should be out here in the barn. Hello, Doc, old friend.
Oh, hello, Harold.
Where's Pete?
Oh, he's downtown getting the bunting.
The bunting. Oh, say, the barn's starting to look fine, Doc. You must have done a lot of work this morning.
Oh, not so much. All I did was tack up the streamers, make the sign.
Okay, Doc.
Mix the potato salad, buy the cider.
Yeah, that's great.
Slice the hot dog rolls, tune the musical chairs.
Yes. Well, I bet we're going to have a lot of fun tonight. And Theodora's just going to love it. Apple bobbing, square dancing, sack racing. Just think. Maybe the two of us will be in the same sack.
I didn't know you cared, Harold.
Not you, Doc. Theodora.
Oh!
Well, happy 1951, boy.
Well, hello, Pete, old pal. Did you bring the bunting?
Bunting? Oh, Shaw, I knew I forgot something.
Oh, Pete!
Well, I've been busy, boy. Don't forget, I'm chairman of the door prize committee.
Did you get some good prizes, Pete?
I sure did. I got the Elks to donate the grand prize.
Oh?
A free, all-expense-paid 90-day vacation to Charlieville.
Yeah. A 90-day vacation?
Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you wanna get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather, now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Recently, a new client called me and started by saying, Mr. Morgan, I really need your help, but I'm just a nobody. Those words stunned me, and I immediately called him back, and we're now helping him and his family after a terrible accident. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Everybody who comes to our firm at their time of need is a somebody. I grew up poor, but my grandmother was like a queen to us. At Morgan & Morgan, our goal is to level the playing field for you and your family at your time of need. The insurance company has unlimited money and resources. You need a firm who can fight them toe-to-toe. For right at 30 years, we have fought them in courtrooms throughout America. Our results speak for themselves. And always remember this, everybody is a somebody, and nobody is a nobody. Visit forthepeople.com to learn about our firm. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
That cost him a lot of money?
No, it's just a round-trip bus ticket. You can return any time within 90 days.
Very funny, Pete. We've got to get this barn decorated. Why don't you run down now and get that bunting? Huh?
All right. Oh, Harold, before I go, maybe you'd like to hear Doc and me rehearse.
Rehearse?
Oh, I forgot to tell you, Harold. Pete and I are going to perform a little New Year's pageant at the party tonight.
A pageant?
Yes. I'm going to be Father Time, and Pete'll be the baby New Year.
Oh, my goodness, baby New Year.
Yeah. I come out dressed in a ribbon.
Look, fellas, how about decorating the barn?
At the stroke of midnight, I come out as Father Time. It's a real character part. And I say, well, another 365 days have gone by. That makes another year.
No kidding.
So ring out the old and ring in the new. Ring in the new. Okay, Pete.
Oh.
Oh, what was that? Aha! 'Tis baby New Year.
Sounds like the noon whistle at the mattress factory. Fellas, how about...
Greetings, everyone. I am baby New Year.
Oh.
I was just born. Goo, goo, goo.
Goodbye. I'll see you fellas later. That Pete.
I am baby New Year.
Horrible actors, but nice fellas, though. We're going to have a swell time tonight.
Station clears, J.P. Just a moment, I'll connect you.
Oh, good morning, Glory.
Oh, good morning, Harold.
Is our dear boss Stanley Peabody in?
Yes, he is.
Thought maybe I'd ask him to our barn dance tonight. He's an old prissy pants, but what the heck? It's New Year's.
'Cause Raymond and I are going to a party tonight at my girlfriend's.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, she goes with a fellow in the Navy. He's a chief petting officer.
Glory, you got that wrong. He's not a petting officer.
Well, according to my girlfriend, he is.
Oh, my goodness.
And Harold, if you want to, you can use that joke on your radio program. There's no charge.
There's no joke either. See you later, Gloria. Everybody's a comic around here. I'll see if Stanley wants to go to the party.
Come in. Oh, hello, Hemp.
Well, Happy New Year, Stanley, old friend.
Thank you. Hempy New Year to you. Get it? Hey, why don't we have a drink to that?
A drink? Well,
yes, let me pour you a glass of yogurt.
No, thanks, Stanley. I'll skip this round. Stanley, we're having our big New Year's party in Doc Yancey's barn tonight. Thought you might like to join us.
In Doc Yancey's barn?
Yeah.
Thank you, Hemp, but I've already made my plans for tonight.
Oh?
I'm going to the formal dance at the Antler Hotel in the Moose Room. Everyone will be wearing tails.
In the Moose Room, I guess so.
Yes, it'll be quite swanky.
Yeah?
I'm taking Miss Abigail Turner. She's one of the Turners, you know. Her family came here over 100 years ago.
Yeah, she looks it. Well, sorry you can't make it, Stanley. I know Theodora and I'll have a wonderful time.
You mean Theodora consented to go to this barn dance?
Well, I haven't told her yet, but I know she'll love it.
Oh, Hemp, you fool you.
Huh?
Theodora's a sophisticated girl. To her, New Year's Eve means formal dress, dinner, imported champagne.
Well, our cider's imported from Charlieville.
Taking Theodora to that hayseed affair.
What?
How can you be such a hick?
I hate him.
Cider imported from Charlieville. You kill me.
I better get out of here before I take him up on that. Old Peabody can't scare me. I bet Theodora will love that barn dance. What if it is corny? I'm a little corny myself. That's kind of a girl I want. One I can settle down with and raise little corn muffins. She's from a big town, though. Kansas City. They have storm drains there. Well, I'll kind of fish around and find out. Hope she's in.
Who is it?
It's Harold.
Have a chair. I'll be right there.
What am I worried about? She's corny, all right.
Hello, curly lashes.
Curly lashes. Hello, Theo.
Oh, I bet you came over to tell me where you're taking me tonight.
Well, you see...
Come on now. Tell Theodora.
Theodora, how about playing a little game first?
We played Spin the Bottle the last time you were here.
That's when I brought the loaded bottle. No, this is a word game called association, Theodora. You find out what the other person is thinking.
Oh.
I mention a word to you, and you say whatever it makes you think of. Are you ready?
Well, all righty.
Good. New Year's Eve.
Pheasant under glass.
Oop. We're having hot dogs under relish. Let's try it again, huh? New Year's Eve.
Champagne in a bucket.
We're having 7-Up in a tub. Try it once more. New Year's Eve.
Swanky supper club.
Oop.
White tie and tails.
Zeef. Maybe I can trap her. Barn dance.
Tennessee Ernie.
Zoink.
Now, Harold, tell me, where are you taking me tonight?
Antler Hotel, Moose Room. I'll be the third moose from the right.
We'll return for the second act of our story, Honest Harold, in just a moment. Have you seen who's joining Bing Crosby on his show tonight? It's Dinah Shore, Louis Armstrong, and Jack Teagarden. That's just a little later this evening over most of these same CBS stations. The Bing Crosby Show. And now, back to Honest Harold, the homemaker. Well, it looks as though Honest Harold's Happy New Year isn't going to be so happy. For the first time, he isn't going to see the new year in with his old friends. Instead, he has talked himself into stepping out at the Antler Hotel to make an impression on the lovely Theodora. It's afternoon now, and we find Harold dejectedly returning home.
How am I going to tell Doc and Pete I'm not coming to the barn dance tonight? Fine friend I turned out to be. I'm a cad. Deserting him on New Year's Eve. Running around in moose tails.
Is that you, Harold?
I don't know, Mother.
Well, did you see Theodora?
Yeah, I did.
Is she happy about where you're taking her tonight?
Oh, yeah, she's very happy.
Oh, you two will have a wonderful time. And maybe Theodora will pin the tail on the donkey.
She did.
Oh, Harold, you just got a phone call from Dr. Yancey.
From Doc?
Yes, he thought your feelings might be hurt because you're not in the pageant tonight. Wasn't that sweet of him? I can just see the three of you at your New Year's party tonight, your arms around each other singing, "Should old acquaintance be forgot,
Mother!
And never brought to mind."
Mother, please, you're flat.
Should old acquaintance be forgot.
Oh, Mother! Guess I better drop in and tell Pete I can't come tonight. Might as well get it over with. He'll understand, I think. Hello, Pete.
Howdy, boy.
Pete,
Harold, if you want to take my part in the pageant tonight, it's okie dokie with me, old friend. Here's my ribbon.
Oop. Well, thanks, Pete. But...
You'd make an awful cute baby New Year. It's an easy part to learn, boy. 4 lines and 3 goos.
Well, that's nice of you, Goo, Pete. But you see, I can't come tonight. I'm going to the formal dance at the Antler Hotel.
What? Oh, sure. You're going to the Antler Hotel, and I'm Margaret Truman.
Margaret, Pete,
Like to hear me sing a cadenza, boy?
Pete, you don't understand.
You're going to the Antler Hotel tonight. Ain't that a doozy?
Pete, this is no doozy. I'm really going there tonight. I'm taking Theodora.
Oh.
Pete, I'm really awfully sorry. I just couldn't help it.
Sure, boy.
You know I really want to be with you fellas.
Sure, boy. Harold, it's a good thing I ain't Margaret Truman. I'd tell my father on you.
Yeah, I guess Doc's in the barn here. Certainly hate to tell him about tonight. Well, I got to do it. Well, there he is. Oh, my goodness, he's got his pet goat with him. Wonder if Pete's told him I'm not coming. Hello, Doc.
Good afternoon, Mr. Amp.
Oop, Pete told him, all right. Doc, I'd like to explain.
How does this bunting look up here?
Oh, looks swell, Doc.
I was speaking to Arthur, my goat.
Oh, excuse me.
Arthur, what would you think of a man who deserted his old friends on New Year's Eve? Yeah, you sure bleeded a bibful, Arthur.
Doc, will you listen to me?
If you don't mind, I'm very busy right now. Arthur, do you like the way I've hung the bunting? Well, that's very sweet of you, thank you.
Doc, I want to come.
Arthur, I bet you wouldn't desert your fellow goats and try to horn into high society.
Horn in. Now, wait a minute.
No, sir. You wouldn't be off somewhere dining on caviar. You'd be right here with your old friends munching tin cans.
Doc, I'd munch tin cans. I mean, I'd like to be here with you fellas tonight. You know that, don't you?
Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you wanna get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Recently, a new client called me and started by saying, Mr. Morgan, I really need your help, but I'm just a nobody. Those words stunned me, and I immediately called him back, and we're now helping him and his family after a terrible accident. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Everybody who comes to our firm at their time of need is a somebody. I grew up poor, but my grandmother was like a queen to us. At Morgan & Morgan, our goal is to level the playing field for you and your family at your time of need. The insurance company has unlimited money and resources. You need a firm who can fight them toe-to-toe. For right at 30 years, we have fought them in courtrooms throughout America. Our results speak for themselves. And always remember this, everybody is a somebody, and nobody is a nobody. Visit forthepeople.com to learn about our firm. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Doc, old friend, don't you believe me? Say something. Not you, Arthur.
That was me, Harold.
And that was me. Goodbye.
Are you having a good time, Harold?
Oh, sure. Moose Room is very nice. Wonder what the fellows are doing at the barn dance.
You waltz beautifully.
Yeah, thank you, Theodora. It's a good thing. Guess it's all that orchestra knows. They played 3 o'clock in the morning 3 times, and it's only 9:15. What a finish. Well, shall we go back to our table?
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sort of a quiet crowd for New Year's Eve, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Look at that fellow in the corner there with a big chin. He hasn't moved for an hour.
Harold, that's a stuffed moose.
I thought he was sitting kind of high.
Harold, are you sure you're having a good time?
Good time? Oh, sure. I'm having... Oh, my goodness.
What's the matter?
Stanley Peabody coming with his girl. I don't want to get stuck with prissy pants. I'll duck down so he won't see me.
Oh, Harold.
Oh, hello, Theodora. Hemp, what are you doing under the table?
Under the table? I was looking for the thing. Looks like Stanley brought the thing with him.
May I present Miss Abigail Turner, Miss Theodora, and Mr. Harold Hemp.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Oh, I have a wonderful idea. Why don't Abigail and I sit at your table?
Well,
Yes, you sit here, Abby Dabby.
Abby Dabby sounds like a candy bar.
Thank you.
And I'll sit here. Just think, the 4 of us will spend the whole evening together.
Yeah, I am thinking.
Well, shall we get into the festive mood? I think I'll blow my horn. Whoopee! Come on, Theodora, Hemp, laugh and be gay.
Oh, brother.
Are you feeling merry, Abigail?
Oh, yes, I feel so New Year's Eve-y. I feel like singing that new popular song.
Oh?
Oh, the music goes round and round. Oh, ho, 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 ho.
You know, Abigail is a debutante. Came out in 39.
Yeah, probably hasn't been out since.
Harold.
What is it?
Don't look so glum. Say something to our guest.
Oh, yeah. Having a good time, Abigail? I said, are you having a good time, Abigail?
The music goes round and round. Oh, ho, 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 ho.
Whoopee! Oh, I feel so exhilarated. Abby.
Yes, Stanley.
Why don't you tell that uproarious riddle? Oh, Oh, Hemp, this will send you right out of the room.
Yeah, I hope so.
Go on, Abby Dabby.
Well, I asked the question. How do you get down from an elephant?
I don't know, Abigail. How do you get down from an elephant?
You don't get down from an elephant. You get down from a duck. The music goes round and round.
Whoopee! Stanley, not in my face.
Oh, 3 o'clock in the morning. I love that piece.
Yeah, the orchestra must love it, too. Well, Theodora, shall we dance?
Hemp, suppose I have this dance with Theodora and you and Abigail can get better acquainted. But, come on, Theodora.
Well, all right.
But, excuse us, please. Theodora, do you like to twirl?
Oh, Mr. Hemp, isn't it fun?
Yeah, the music goes round and round. Oh, oh.
Well, it's almost midnight. Shall we unfold our paper hats?
I ate mine. It was better than the chicken. Did you say it was almost midnight?
Almost.
Wonder what the fellows are doing at the barn dance.
Oh, the orchestra is getting ready to play, Stanley.
Oh, good.
Oh, good.
Abigail, shall we dance this one?
Oh, I'd love to.
Excuse us, please.
Certainly.
Harold,
Yes, Theodora.
you don't seem very happy tonight.
Happy? Oh, sure, I'm very happy. Music goes round and round.
Oh, Harold, will you excuse me for a moment? I want to speak to a friend over there.
Of course, go right ahead, Theodora.
I'll be right back.
Gee, what a clam bake. What a way to spend New Year's Eve. With Stanley Peabody instead of my old friends. Should have told Theodora about the barn dance. Let's face it, honest Harold, you're a weakling. Well, they do know another song. Why does it have to be that one? Gee, what I'd give the world to see that old gang of mine. I can't forget that old quartet that sang Sweet Adeline. Goodbye forever, old fellows and gals. Goodbye forever, old sweethearts and pals. God bless 'em. Gee, but I'd give the world to see that old gang of mine. Yeah, that's where I ought to be, with my old gang, with Pete and Doc and Arthur the goat. And that's where I'm going, right now.
Why, Harold, what's the matter?
Theodora, I'm sorry, but I'm going.
Going where?
To the barn dance. Should have gone there in the first place. But I knew you wouldn't want to go to a corny party like that.
Oh, Harold, why didn't you ask me?
Huh?
I wondered why you wanted to come here instead of spending New Year's with your friends.
You did?
And I'd love to go to your barn dance.
You would? Well.
Oh, Hemp.
Oh, Stanley.
Whoopee! New Year's comes but once a year.
You said it, and we're not going to spend it here. Come on, Theodora. Hope we're in time, Theodora. Must be almost 12 o'clock.
Yes.
Here's the barn. Sounds kind of quiet in there. Oh, they're doing the pageant. Come on.
Ah, what was that? 'Tis baby New Year.
Good old Doc.
'Tis baby New Year. Pete!
Oh, yes.
Look at Pete and that ribbon.
Isn't that cute?
I am baby New Year.
No, he gets cold in that costume.
I was,
Hi, Harold.
Hi, Pete, old friend.
My hair.
Hello, Doc.
Oh, I'm glad to see you. Why, it wouldn't have been New Year's without you, would it, Pete?
It sure wouldn't, boy.
Thanks. I really missed you fellas. Say.
Oh, it's 12 o'clock, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Harold.
Happy New Year, boy.
Happy New Year, fellas. Happy New Year, Theodora. Oop. Happy New Year to you, Arthur, but I'm not going to kiss you.
Well, it's time for Old Lang Syne.
Okay, come on, fellas. You take the tenor part, Arthur. Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of Auld Lang Syne?
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woo-hooer, a hand clapper, a high-fiver? If you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. Choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply.
Recently, a new client called me and started by saying, Mr. Morgan, I really need your help, but I'm just a nobody. Those words stunned me, and I immediately called him back, and we're now helping him and his family after a terrible accident. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Everybody who comes to our firm at their time of need is a somebody. I grew up poor, but my grandmother was like a queen to us. At Morgan & Morgan, our goal is to level the playing field for you and your family at your time of need. The insurance company has unlimited money and resources. You need a firm who can fight them toe-to-toe. For right at 30 years, we have fought them in courtrooms throughout America. Our results speak for themselves. And always remember this, everybody is a somebody, and nobody is a nobody. Visit forthepeople.com to learn about our firm. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
I know that all of you listening in tonight are anxious to hear about our Operation Santa Claus venture to Travis Air Force Base and what happened to the thousands of gifts you sent in. I have a wire from Colonel Kelly, commanding officer, that I'd like to read to you. Quote, your recent gratifying personal appearance at Travis Air Force Base will long be remembered by all who saw you. Your bright laughter and good cheer to the men who needed it most, wounded Korean veterans in the base hospital, and combat-ready servicemen bound overseas. Your huge store of gaily wrapped gifts, which you personally distributed to the war-wounded and the outbound troops, was especially appreciated and will not soon be forgotten. As commanding officer, I wish to take this opportunity of expressing through you my heartfelt gratitude to all the kindly people, your radio listeners, who made those thousands of gifts possible. Again, thanks to you and your troop, Harold Peary, for an appearance that brought the true spirit of Christmas to Travis Air Force Base. Joe W. Kelly, Colonel, United States Air Force Commanding. Unquote. I wish it were possible to thank all you personally for your gifts to the boys. Being able to make them a bit happier on Christmas was the most wonderful experience of my life. Thanks again from the bottom of my heart, and a Happy New Year to you all.
You have just heard the Harold Peary Show, Honest Harold. The supporting players tonight included Mari Alden, Jane Morgan, Parley Bear, Olin Soule, and Mary Jane Croft, and featured Gloria Holliday as Gloria and Joseph Kearns as Old Doc Yak Yak. Norman MacDonald directed, and the music was composed and conducted by Jack Meakin.
Pretty, too, wasn't it?
Honest Harold, created by Harold Peary, was written by Gene Stone, Jack Robinson, and Dick Powell.
Good writers.
Yes, and remember, the Rose Bowl game between Michigan and California will be broadcast next Monday, New Year's Day, exclusively over most of these same CBS stations. Stay tuned now for the Bing Crosby Show, which follows immediately on most of these same CBS stations. This is Roy Rowan speaking. This is CBS, where you thrill to suspense on Thursday night, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
That was Harold Peary's barn dance as broadcast on December 27, 1950. The Aldrich family is going to take you to a New Year's Eve party which happens to be a masquerade party from December 30th, 1948.
The Aldrich Family, based on characters originated by Clifford Goldsmith and starring Ezra Stone as Henry with Jackie Kelk as Homer.
Henry Aldrich.
Coming, Mother.
For the Aldrich Family. Most of us remember our teenage as something that was always bright and shiny and rather wonderful. But to Henry Aldrich, who is right in the middle of his teenage, life is not always that attractive. The scene opens in the Aldrich living room. It is the afternoon of the last day of the year.
You are, Father? You really are?
Certainly, Mary. May I ask what's so unusual about taking your mother to a masquerade on New Year's Eve?
But, Father, did you know that people dance at masquerades?
Certainly I know.
Oh.
What do you mean, oh?
Nothing. Mary! I'll be right back, Father.
All right, Mary. Take your time.
Where are you, Mother?
In the dining room. And, dear, I was just wondering how you and Kermit were going to spend this evening.
Didn't I tell you, Mother? Oh, my goodness, I'm so thrilled.
Really?
I guess Kermit's just about the most thoughtful person in the whole world.
My, where's he taking you?
No place.
No place?
He's just coming over here, where we can be all by ourselves with just each other.
What?
Isn't that thoughtful of him?
Well, yes, dear, of course.
Goodness, when I think of all the poor girls whose boyfriends can't think of anything better to do than throw their money around and never get a romantic thought in their lives. My, doesn't your heart bleed for them?
It certainly does, Mary. And I know just how you feel. Your father was always very thoughtful that way, too.
Really? Did you know he's planning on actually dancing tonight?
Dear, your father's been dancing for 25 years.
That's what I mean. Wouldn't you think he'd get tired?
My goodness, I never thought of that. I wonder... Excuse me, Mary. Oh, Sam!
Mother, do you think I should bake something for Kermit?
As long as you stick to macaroons, Mary.
Alice, I'm trying to read.
I know, dear, but I just got to thinking about...
About what?
Sam, are you sure you want to go to that masquerade tonight?
Of course I'm sure. Why do you ask?
Well, it's just... Are you sure you aren't getting tired?
Tired?
After all these years?
Tired, Alice. These years with you have been the happiest of my life.
What? Dear, I'm talking about the masquerade.
Oh. Well, Alice, when you first mentioned the masquerade, I may not have been too enthusiastic, but now I'm really looking forward to it.
You are, dear?
Not only that, I promised I'd take you, and Alice, when I give my word, I keep it.
Oh, Father!
Yes, Henry, I'm in the living room trying to read.
You go right on with your reading, Sam. It's nice and restful for you.
What's that?
Father, I've turned the whole house upside down, and you're my last hope.
I am?
Gee whiz, do you know where my shin pads are?
Your shin pads? What do you want them for?
I'm taking them to the hockey game tonight, Father, and have them autographed.
I'm afraid I haven't seen them, son.
You haven't? By the way, Father, what are you planning on wearing tonight?
I don't know yet, Henry. Mr. and Mrs. Brown are looking after the costumes.
You're wearing a costume?
Certainly.
You are, Father? You really are?
Yes, I am, and I'm also going to dance.
You are?
I am.
You're going to dance at a thing like a hockey game?
What?
Well, yeah, you know, the game you promised to take me to tonight.
When did I promise a thing like that?
Why, just before Christmas, Father. When you couldn't take me to that basketball game you promised.
Well, yes,
and you
but...
said the very next time there was a hockey game, no matter if the world came to an end, we'd go.
Yes. Well, Henry, I just want you to know that there's nothing I'd rather do than take you to that hockey game.
Boy, isn't it lucky I reminded you?
Yes.
Especially since I already turned down 3 different New Year's Eve parties.
Oh, you did?
Sure. And none of the kids would believe me when I told them how my father thought enough of me to turn over the entire end of his old year to me.
Henry, would you excuse me a minute?
Sure, Father.
Alice!
Yes, Sam?
Alice.
Dear, the Browns didn't phone, did they?
The Browns?
Well, they said they'd get all the costumes, and my goodness, it's the middle of the afternoon now.
Alice, I just got a wonderful idea.
You did, dear?
Why don't we put on our coats and hats, say, next Saturday night and go down to the mansion house for dinner.
Why, Sam.
And go dancing afterwards. You know, really make a night of it.
Sam, you dear.
You'd like that?
Like it? Why, Sam, I'd adore it.
Fine. Then, Alice...
And, dear, I think you get more thoughtful every day.
Well...
My goodness, how many husbands realize how tired we wives get eating our own cooking all the time?
Alice, what I had in mind was that we would do that in place of going to the masquerade tonight.
But, dear, I've been looking forward to this masquerade.
Well, look, Alice, why don't we make a night of it not just next Saturday, but every Saturday night in the year?
What?
You know, make a regular date of it.
My goodness.
Instead of going to the masquerade tonight.
Well, naturally, Sam, if you're feeling your age, of course I won't drag you out.
Alice, I am not feeling my age.
Well, dear, suddenly you do look awfully haggard.
Mother, I can't find the coconut.
I'll look for it, Mary.
But, Alice... Oh, Henry.
Yes, Father?
Henry, you know, Henry, when I wasn't able to take you to that basketball game...
Yes, sir.
Well, that was a very good example of the way things have been in 1948. But not next year.
No?
No, sir. Next year, son, is going to be a big change. You and I are going to be closer.
We are?
We are.
Gee, that's swell, Father. And, boy, what a swell way to start the new year off. Going to a hockey game together.
Well, this is...
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? If you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. Choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Recently, a new client called me and started by saying, Mr. Morgan, I really need your help, but I'm just a nobody. Those words stunned me, and I immediately called him back, and we're now helping him and his family after a terrible accident. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Everybody who comes to our firm at their time of need is a somebody. I grew up poor, but my grandmother was like a queen to us. At Morgan & Morgan, our goal is to level the playing field for you and your family at your time of need. The insurance company has unlimited money and resources. You need a firm who can fight them toe-to-toe. For right at 30 years, we have fought them in courtrooms throughout America. Our results speak for themselves. And always remember this, everybody is a somebody, and nobody is a nobody. Visit forthepeople.com to learn about our firm, Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Still 1948, Henry. Why start a new regime tonight? Why not start it, say, any night next week that you name?
Next? Well, sure, but...
And we'll go out on the town and have the time of our lives.
We will?
Absolutely. Even if...
Even if the world comes to an end?
Yes.
Well, sure, that's okay, Father.
Fine. Now, you're sure, are you, son?
Sure.
Sure that that's what you'd rather do? I mean, I don't want to appear to be forcing you into anything.
No, it's okay, Father.
After all, hockey is rather a strenuous form of amusement for a man of my age. Well, I mean...
Sure, Father, I understand.
You really do?
Well, I'll find somebody younger to go with. But Homer, are you still there?
Sure.
Well, how about it?
Nothing doing, Henry.
But look, Homer, who really wants to go to Willie's party on New Year's Eve?
I do.
Gee, you sit around, play stupid games, wear your feet out dancing, and watch a lot of dumb girls watching you to see if you're watching them.
What?
But, boy, you go to a hockey game, see, and there are all these swell players, and there's this little piece of rubber.
Sure, and all they do is chase it around.
Homer, they do a lot more than that. Boy, they trip up each other with their sticks and push each other into the sideboards. Sometimes a player even lands in your lap.
In my lap?
Sure.
No kidding.
Sure.
I'd rather go to the party.
But, Homer...
And you can go to the hockey game.
All by myself?
Sure. Just think, you'd have one seat to sit in and one seat for any player that might land there.
Gee, that wouldn't be any fun.
Well, I'd like to bum around with you, Hen, only, gee, a hockey game.
Isn't there anything you'd rather do than go to Willie's party?
Well, What I'd really like is to go to that masquerade.
The masquerade?
Sure, that our folks are going to. Gee, they're giving prizes and everything.
Well, then why don't we both go?
Well, you need money to rent costumes.
Look, Homer, my father gave me an extra $1, and if I could sell my hockey tickets, I'd have enough money.
How could you sell them at this late date? Everybody will have plans.
For the sake of your New Year, Homer, the least I can do is try.
Hello?
Hello, Sam.
Oh, hello there, Will. Everything all set for the masquerade?
You betcha, Sam.
Fine. Just the thought of getting out on the dance floor makes me feel like a boy again.
Sam, I phoned to tell you we have the costumes.
Good. What are they?
We're going as the 4 seasons of the year.
Say, that's a darn good idea, Will.
Your winter.
What?
Your winter, Sam.
Oh, I am?
You wear a long white beard, see, and you even have a cane.
A cane, huh?
Sure, so you won't even have to dance, Sam. All you have to do is hobble around all evening.
I see. Well, that's just great.
I'm glad you like the idea, Sam.
Oh, I do. I do indeed. What are you, Will?
I'm Summer.
Summer, I see.
Well, so long. We'll get together later and try the costumes on.
Fine. Goodbye, Will. Oh, Alice.
Yes, Sam?
Alice, how old is Will Brown?
Why, I'm not sure, dear.
Isn't he a couple of years older than I am?
Yes, I believe he is. Why? What's the matter?
Nothing, Alice. Nothing at all.
But, Homer, listen to reason.
Henry, stand aside.
Where are you going?
Home.
But, Homer, it's the only costume he has left. It isn't my fault.
It isn't my fault either, and I refuse to have anything to do with it.
But I've already sold my hockey tickets, Homer, and you promised you'd go to the masquerade with me.
Not in this costume.
Well, I can't go in it alone.
Listen, Henry, I'm not being the back end of any horse, and that's that.
Is that all that's worrying you? Look, you can be the front end.
No, I'm not starting the new year by being any part of a horse.
But, Homer...
Henry, I said no. Do you think I want to dance with you all evening, back to front?
Sam, what are you trying to say?
Simply this, Alice, that some time ago I gave Henry my word I'd go to a hockey game with him this evening.
But, Sam, what about the Browns?
That's unfortunate, Alice, but the more I think about it, the more I feel my first duty is to my son.
But think of how disappointed they'll be.
I know, and I'm sorry, but they'll just have to find themselves another winter.
Sam, what do you mean?
Why, nothing.
And what about me, dear?
Alice, I'm sorry about that, but I'll make it up to you next week.
Dear, do you mean I have to stay home tonight with Mary and Kermit? Mother, you do? Right here in this house?
Yes, Mary.
You mean right in the living room?
Excuse me, I'd better phone the Browns.
But, Mother! That's all right, Mary. I won't bother you and Kermit. I can fix myself up very comfortably in the kitchen. In the kitchen? I'll be fine, Mary. I'll take an armchair out there and just knit.
My goodness, we wouldn't think of letting you do a thing like that.
Well, Mary, if you really don't object...
Kermit will bring the radio out in the kitchen for you.
Mary, do you mean to say you'd really banish your own mother to the kitchen on New Year's Eve?
Mother?
Yes, Henry?
Has anyone phoned for me while I was out?
No, dear.
No one at all? Not even Homer?
No, Henry.
Oh.
Henry?
Yes, Father?
Oh, come in here, please. I've been looking for you.
Mother, you don't understand.
Yes, I do, Mary. I understand perfectly.
Henry, I have news for you.
You mean Homer changed his mind about going with me?
Henry, I'm going with you.
You are?
Yes, sir. I've managed to change my other plans, and, son, you can count me in.
I can? That's definite, Father?
It is. I may have been forced to go back on my word a few times in the past, but not anymore, Henry.
Oh, boy, then let's try it on.
Try what on?
The costume.
What?
I have it right out in the hall, Father, and boy, it's the best darn-looking horse you ever saw.
Horse? Now, wait a minute. I thought we were going to a hockey game.
Not anymore, Father. We're going to the masquerade instead as a horse.
Now, wait.
You're the back end.
Now, wait.
You just promised, Father.
I know, but I thought... Henry, you don't expect me to walk around all evening, bent over double.
But, Father...
I'm not a young man, Henry.
Father, you mean you're backing out again?
No, but...
After you said we were going to be closer this year?
Not that close.
getting back to the troubles of Henry Aldrich. Mr. and Mrs. Aldrich had made arrangements to attend a New Year's Eve masquerade with the Browns when Henry informed his father of a promise to take him to a hockey game tonight. Due to his efforts to keep his word to everyone, Mr. Aldrich has now wound up as the hind end of a horse. The scene opens in the Browns' living room. It is late the same afternoon.
Mother, would you phone Willie Marshall for me?
What for, Homer?
And tell him it looks as though I'm going to recover and I'll be able to go to his party tonight after all.
Recover from what?
My pneumonia.
What pneumonia?
Mine, Mother. He thinks I'm staying home with pneumonia instead of going to his New Year's party.
You're not going to Willie's party?
I told him I wasn't, but gee whiz, I'll be darned if I'll be a horse.
Oh, Homer, just because you're a horse is no reason to think you're coming down with pneumonia.
What?
Just go and gargle, dear.
But, Mother...
Homer, do as you're told. Can't you see I'm busy thinking?
Oh, okay, but gargling isn't going to straighten me out with Willie.
Dear, you just have to have faith.
Faith? I know, but...
Out of my way.
Oh, Mother!
Homer, what's the matter?
Mother, there's a tree out in our hall.
A tree?
And it spoke to me.
Oh, dear, that's no tree. That's your father.
What?
And get off my lap.
Here I am, Elizabeth. How do I look?
Father, is that really you?
Sure, I'm Summer.
You're what?
I'm Summer. Summer.
Oh, boy.
Will, stop fooling around with that costume and help me find a spring and winter.
Who?
Spring and winter, dear. They're just backed out.
What's that?
Gee whiz, I'm going upstairs and lie down.
Elizabeth, what do you mean they backed out?
Will, the Aldriches suddenly decided they can't come to the masquerade tonight.
Well, that's a fine thing.
Now, Will, calm down. You're shedding your leaves. There's the phone.
But, Elizabeth, what are we going to do? We can't go just as 2 seasons.
Will, I've been trying to think how we could convert our costumes, but I'm afraid it's hopeless. Oh, hello.
Oh, hello, Elizabeth. This is Sam Aldrich.
Oh, Sam, you'll never know how disappointed we are.
Well, that's what I called about. Even if I can't make it, do you think you could still fit Alice in as Spring?
Well,
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper? A woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver. If you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. Choose from hundreds of social casino style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Recently, a new client called me and started by saying, Mr. Morgan, I really need your help, but I'm just a nobody. Those words stunned me, and I immediately called him back, and we're now helping him and his family after a terrible accident. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Everybody who comes to our firm at their time of need is a somebody. I grew up poor, but my grandmother was like a queen to us. At Morgan & Morgan, our goal is to level the playing field for you and your family at your time of need. The insurance company has unlimited money and resources. You need a firm who can fight them toe-to-toe. For right at 30 years, we have fought them in courtrooms throughout America. Our results speak for themselves. And always remember this, everybody is a somebody, and nobody is a nobody. Visit forthepeople.com to learn about our firm. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
The only thing is, Sam, wouldn't the three of us look a little awkward without winter?
Nonsense, Elizabeth. If there's one season you can dispense with, it's certainly winter.
Well, maybe we could work out something.
Oh, I'd appreciate it, Elizabeth. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Elizabeth, was that Sam on the phone?
Yes, he wants to know if we could fit Alice in as Spring.
You mean all by herself? But who'll we get as Winter?
I haven't any idea. Unless...
Yeah?
Well, I've got it. What? He's not going anywhere tonight. Oh, Homer!
Yes, Mother?
Come down here and try on this beard.
Father, could you hold the horse's tail still a minute?
Henry, what are you doing?
Well, the trouble is when I put my head in first, my feet won't go in.
Try putting your feet in first.
Are your feet in, Father?
Yes.
Maybe I should sort of bend over. Father, what happened? The hind legs are sticking straight up in the air.
Yes, and I'm on my back.
Well, maybe that's the way to do it. We both lie on our back, see, and stick all our 4 feet up in the air.
Now, wait a minute.
Gee, isn't this going to be fun, Father?
Sam, will you please answer the phone?
Well, I'll try.
I'll get it, Father.
Henry, stop pulling my leg.
That's my leg, Father.
Now, look. That's your leg over there.
It is? Well, whose arm is this?
Now, wait. Now, wait.
Isn't anybody going to answer the phone?
Now, Henry, let's take one leg at a time.
Hello?
Hello. Is that you, Mary?
Yes, is that you, Kermit?
Yes. Hello.
Hello. My, it was nice of you to phone.
Mary, I have some news for you.
You have? I have news for you, too, Kermit.
You have? What is it?
You tell me yours.
No, you tell me yours.
No, you.
Well,
first of all, I made something wonderful for you to eat tonight.
You did? That's wonderful because, frankly, Mary, I am getting a little tired of macaroons.
Oh. Oh, my goodness.
Not that I'm not crazy about your macaroons, Mary.
Well, that's all right, Kermit, and goodbye.
You're leaving?
Yes, I have to go, and that is, yes.
But, Mary, I haven't told you my news.
Well, could you tell me quickly?
Sure. We're going to a hockey game tonight.
A hockey game?
Yeah, and guess who sold me the ticket?
Kermit, a hockey game on New Year's Eve?
Yeah, isn't that swell? Mary? Mary, are you there?
Yes, but my goodness, I was looking forward to...
To what?
Kermit, if you don't know, I'm certainly not going to tell you, and goodbye.
Mary, what's all the commotion out here?
Father, I think you men are just hateful.
What?
You're all the same, every one of you.
Mary, what did I do now?
Boy, I think I've got that horse licked, Father.
Henry, you can forget about that horse.
Forget about
I
it?
can see your heart isn't in it, son. Now, where are those hockey tickets?
I haven't got them.
Well, get them. When I say I'm going to take you to a hockey game, Henry, then that's what I'm going to do.
But, Father...
I'm not going to palm off a masquerade on you instead.
But, Father, I can't get the hockey tickets. I sold them to Kermit.
What? I see. Excuse me, Henry.
Father, you mean you're going to change your mind again?
Alice?
I'm in the kitchen, Sam.
Well, look.
Would you like one of Mary's macaroons, dear?
No, thank you. Alice, I've been thinking it over.
Thinking what over?
And while I made a promise to Henry, I also made a promise to you.
Well, yes, but...
Henry's young. He'll get over it. Whereas you...
Whereas I what?
Alice, would you explain to Henry that you insist I go to the masquerade with you?
But, dear, I can't.
You can't what?
I can't insist now.
What do you mean?
Elizabeth just phoned me, and I'm going with someone else.
What? Alice, do you mean to say you're going out tonight with some other man?
Well...
Who is he?
Frankly, dear, I don't know. Elizabeth said it would be a surprise.
That's pretty unbelievable.
Why, Sam, you're jealous.
Jealous? I am not.
Now, dear, you haven't a thing to worry about.
Alice, you're to call the whole thing off immediately.
But, Sam, I've given my word.
Alice!
And, dear, I'm sure that once I've made a promise, you wouldn't want me to break it off.
Henry, everything's all settled. You and I are going to that masquerade as a horse.
But, Father, I thought you didn't want to.
Only I'm going as the front end, you understand, where I can keep an eye on what I can watch, what I can see what's going on.
But, gee whiz, Father, you're too late.
What's that?
Look, I just got the hockey tickets back from Kermit.
The hockey tickets?
Sure. I traded him something for them.
Kermit Hannigan, you certainly have your nerve.
But, Mary, you said you wanted us to be secluded.
I've never been so insulted in all my life.
But, Mary, you can be the front end.
Just a minute. What's going on here?
I can tell you, Father.
Mr. Aldrich, would you try to explain something to Mary for me?
Kermit, I'm not dumb. I don't need anything explained to me.
Mr. Aldrich?
I think I'll just stay out of this.
But, Mr. Aldrich, you're better at managing women than I am.
Oh, Sam.
Who, I?
Hello, everybody. How do you like my costume?
Oh,
it's very nice.
Alice, I'm giving you one last chance here and now to break your date.
Mother, you have a date?
Yes, dear.
With a man, Mrs. Aldrich?
Well, Kermit, what's wrong with that?
Yes, Kermit, with a man.
Mother, a man?
Hey, Mrs. Aldrich.
Homer, we're busy.
You are? You mean you can't go with me?
Good heavens.
With you?
Gee whiz, Homer, where'd you get that beard?
Homer, you mean you're...
Sure, I'm Winter.
Sam Aldrich, are you laughing?
Father, how do you feel now?
How do I look, Henry?
Frankly, terrible.
Then you know how I feel.
The only thing is, there's only about 10 minutes left in 1948.
Yes?
Wouldn't it be a better omen if you saw the new year in with a smile?
Perhaps you're right.
Father, you going to sit up?
I'm going to try.
It's a darn good hockey game, wasn't it, Father?
Yes, son, it was. Until they carried me out.
See that player who got thrown into your lap. I think it did him good.
Well, I'm glad to hear it.
Sure, he just dusted himself off and jumped back on the ice and scored the winning goal.
Good for him. Now, please hand me that steak again.
Sure. And how's your ride coming along, Father? Gee whiz, there's the phone. You stay right where you are, Father, old-timer.
Thank you, Henry.
Hello?
Hello, Henry. How was the hockey game?
Boy, Mother, it was the best one I ever went to. How's the masquerade?
Just lovely, dear.
Did you win the grand prize?
No, dear. Homer upset the whole apple cart when he discovered his beard was made of spun sugar.
Oh. What happened?
He ate it. And, Henry, may I please speak to your father?
Father, Mother wants you on the phone. Mother, who did win the prize?
Mary and Kermit. Everyone thought they made a wonderful horse.
Is that your mother, Henry?
Sure, Father.
Will you see who's at the door, son?
Sure, Father.
Hello, Alice.
Sam, I just wanted to be the first one to say Happy New Year to you.
Why, thank you, Alice, and the same to you. Are you having a good time?
Frankly, dear, not as good a time as if you were here.
Alice, I'm going to make everything up to you. I haven't forgotten the promise I made you.
Dear, you really mean we'll go out someplace every Saturday night for the whole year?
Absolutely.
Well, my goodness, I'm certainly looking forward to 1949.
Father! Father!
Just a minute, Alice.
Father, guess who was at the door?
Who?
The man from the hockey rink. And he wanted to know how your black eye was.
Yes?
And just to show there's no hard feelings, look what he gave us. A season pass to all the hockey games.
What's that?
Every Saturday night for the whole year.
Every Saturday?
Sam, it's midnight.
But...
Happy New Year, Sam.
Happy New Year, Father.
Yes. Well, Happy New Year.
Listen again next week, same time, same station, for another sparkling half hour with your favorite youngster, his family, and his pals. The old starring Ezra Stone is written by Clifford Goldsmith.
From the masquerade party from December 30th, 1948 with the Aldrich family, we're going to go to a different family. Here is Father Knows Best from December 29th, 1949.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. Everybody needs some variety in life. That's what I love about Chumba Casino. They know how to keep things fresh and exciting. All their games are free to play, like spin slots, bingo, and solitaire. You can claim free daily login bonuses, too. And they release new games every week. So spice things up with ChumbaCasino.com now for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Recently, a new client called me and started by saying, "Mr. Morgan, I really need your help, but I'm just a nobody." Those words stunned me, and I immediately called him back. And we're now helping him and his family after a terrible accident. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Everybody who comes to our firm at their time of need is a somebody. I grew up poor, but my grandmother was like a queen to us. At Morgan & Morgan, our goal is to level the playing field for you and your family at your time of need. The insurance company has unlimited money and resources. You need a firm who can fight them toe-to-toe. For right at 30 years, we have fought them in courtrooms throughout America. Our results speak for themselves. And always remember this: everybody is a somebody, and nobody is a nobody. Visit forthepeople.com to learn about our firm. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Mother, is Maxwell House really the only coffee in the world?
Well, your father says so, and your father knows best.
Yes, it's Father Knows Best, transcribed in Hollywood, starring Robert Young as father. A half-hour visit with your new neighbors, the Andersons, brought to you by Maxwell House, the coffee that's bought and enjoyed by more people than any other brand of coffee at any price. Maxwell House, always good to the last drop. It was Samuel Johnson who said, and with good reason, I'm sure, every man naturally persuades himself that he can keep his resolutions, nor is he convinced of his imbecility, but by length of time and frequency of experiment. Well, in Springfield, in the white frame house on Maple Street, just such an experiment is about to begin, like this.
Good morning, Margaret.
Good morning, dear. Breakfast will be ready in just a moment.
That's all right, dear. No hurry. Kids aren't down yet, are they?
Well, no, but, well, it is a holiday, Jim, and I just thought.
Oh, it's all right with me, Margaret. After all, this is the last day of the year, and it's Saturday, and, well, they deserve a little extra rest, don't they?
Well, yes, dear.
Anyway, it gives me a chance to tell you about something. I've had it on my mind for quite a while, and, well, it's about time I did something about it.
Yes, dear.
From now on, I'm not going to lose my temper. At any time. Now, what do you think of that?
Well, I think it's wonderful, but...
During 1950, I'm going to be the soul of patience. At home, at the office, everywhere. Patient old Jim, that's what they're going to call me.
Jim?
Yes, Margaret?
You remember my grandmother Williams, not one of my real grandmothers. She was the one who took care of my mother when she was living in Middletown after the lumber company sent my father to Oregon and my sister Kathleen was born.
No.
What?
I don't remember her.
Oh, well, she used to have a wonderful saying for people who wanted to control their tempers.
Margaret, I don't need any special formula. I just won't lose my temper, that's all.
I know, dear, but Grandmother Williams used to say, if you think your temper's going, just recite the Hottentot. And before you're halfway finished, why, it's back as like as not.
Well, that's very pretty, but I'd rather do it my way. I just won't lose my temper.
Well, Jim, if you were really sincere, you'd at least let me tell you what the Hottentot is.
I don't care what the Hottentot is. I don't need the Hottentot. Why do you immediately leap to the conclusion that I need help in controlling my temper? I just won't lose it, that's all.
You've already lost it.
Now, look, Margaret, All right, what's the Hottentot?
Well, it's just an old saying we had when I was a girl. If to hoot and to toot, a Hottentot tot be taught by a Hottentot tutor, ought the tutor get hot if the Hottentot tot hoot and toot at the Hottentot tutor. That's all there is to it.
I'd rather lose my temper.
Jim.
Well, I'm not going to walk around babbling like a 6-year-old idiot in search of a brain. To hoot and to toot. Silliest darn thing I've ever heard. Doesn't even make sense.
Yes, it does, dear. You see, it says that if a Hottentot tutor teaches a Hottentot tot to hoot and toot, well, the tutor has no one but himself to blame if the Hottentot tot hoots and toots at him.
Fine, I'll tell him when he comes in.
Jim, it's just supposed to divert your attention for a moment, that's all. Then you won't lose your temper.
Margaret, I'm not going to. May I please have the morning paper?
The paper? Oh, well, Betty came down to look at it first thing this morning. It's in the breakfast nook.
Thank you. Oh, no.
Was there something wrong, dear?
Margaret, look what she did to this paper. How in the world do they expect a man to read anything as messed up as this? Why is it that whenever I want to see anything around here...
Jim?
Somebody always... I will not lose my temper. I shall control my temper if it kills me.
Good morning, Mother.
Oh, good morning, Betty.
Morning, Father. I said good morning, Father. Father?
Betty, I wouldn't bother your father this morning.
But I didn't do anything. Oh, he found out I drove the car on a flat tire.
You what?
Betty, please.
Margaret.
Yes, dear?
To hoot and toot what?
I'll write it down for you, dear. If to hoot and to toot,
Hoot and toot.
a Hottentot tot be taught by a Hottentot tutor, ought the tutor get hot if the Hottentot tot hoot and toot at the Hottentot tutor.
Thank you. Good morning, Betty.
Good morning, Father.
And how are you this beautiful morning?
Well, I'm fine, thank you. Are you all right?
Just fine. Coffee about ready, Margaret?
Well, yes, dear. Here you are.
Thank you. Well, Betty, are you and Billy Smith planning on a big time tonight?
Oh, yes, Father. Mr. Smith's going to let Billy have their brand new car, and we're going to a barn dance. In a barn.
Well, what'll they think of next? Say, Margaret.
Yes, dear?
Heck and Elizabeth are going to the party at the Hathaways, too, aren't they?
Well, I think so.
Well, if Heck's letting Billy take their new car, they won't have any transportation. We'd better arrange to pick them up.
All right, dear.
Will you call Elizabeth?
Yes, dear.
Fine.
Good morning, Mommy. Good morning, Daddy.
Kathy, that wasn't you, was it?
What wasn't me, Daddy?
Morning, everybody. How's every little old thing?
Oh, thank goodness. I thought for a minute we were going to have 2 elephants in the house.
What's the matter, Dad?
Nothing, only I wish you'd learn to walk down the stairs.
You bet. Hey, Mom, I'm starving.
Poor little thing.
Well, I haven't eaten since last night. Say, Dad, speaking of money...
Who said anything about money?
Well, nobody, but I'm going to.
I see.
1 stack of wheat's coming up.
Thank you, ma'am. Kathy, may I have a syrup, please?
Yes, Daddy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Christmas is over, too. What were you saying, Bud?
Well, the way I figure it, $1 a week is all right when you're 15, but you see, I'll be 16 in another 5 or 6 months, and... Well, you see, when you're 15, you don't have to worry about girls much, but when you get to be 15 and a half, well... Let's say you go to the movies and you meet a girl. I mean, even if she buys her own ticket... You know what they charge for ice cream sodas? Gosh. Even if you only get a root beer or something, or... No, huh?
No.
I didn't mean a lot, Dad. I just thought another 50 cents.
Hey, it is Ryan Seacrest. There's something so thrilling about playing Chumba Casino. Maybe it's the simple reminder that with a little luck, anything is possible. ChumbaCasino.com has hundreds of social casino-style games to choose from with new game releases each week. Play for free anytime, anywhere, for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. Join me in the fun. Sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Recently, a new client called me and started by saying, Mr. Morgan, I really need your help, but I'm just a nobody. Those words stunned me, and I immediately called him back, and we're now helping him and his family after a terrible accident. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Everybody who comes to our firm at their time of need is a somebody. I grew up poor, but my grandmother was like a queen to us. At Morgan & Morgan, our goal is to level the playing field for you and your family at your time of need. The insurance company has unlimited money and resources. You need a firm who can fight them toe-to-toe. For right at 30 years, we have fought them in courtrooms throughout America. Our results speak for themselves. And always remember this, everybody is a somebody, and nobody is a nobody. Visit forthepeople.com to learn about our firm. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Quarter, maybe?
Bud, don't you realize that if I gave you a larger allowance, you would never be sure if a girl liked you for your money or yourself?
Well, gosh, who'd care?
Bud, eat your breakfast and behave yourself.
I don't have any breakfast to eat.
I'll have your pancakes in just a minute.
Holy cow. Everybody else gets more than $1, and they don't even do half the things I do.
Bud, I've had just about all the complaining I'm going to stand. If I hear one more word out of you, so help me.
Jim?
If to hoot and to toot a hottentot, all right. Bud, eat your breakfast.
Holy cow, what was that?
Never mind what it was. Eat your breakfast and be quiet.
Holy cow.
Bud, I don't know what they teach you in your school, but for a 15-year-old boy, you have the most bovine vocabulary I've ever heard.
What does that mean?
It means stop saying holy cow.
Gee whiz.
Here you are, Bud. Nice hot pancakes.
Oh, thanks, Mom.
Bud,
Yes, Dad?
did you put ashes on the driveway last night?
Yes, Dad.
And the front walk?
Yes, Dad.
Good. As soon as you've had your breakfast, please see if you can find my tire chains. It's going to be slippery driving tonight.
Okay, Dad.
Some more pancakes, dear?
I'm afraid not, Margaret. I've got to get down to the office.
Oh, that seems such a shame, Jim. Everybody else in town is taking a full weekend.
Margaret, you certainly don't think I like the idea. But when Mr. Gribble says he wants to straighten out his insurance, well, we just straighten out his insurance, that's all.
But couldn't it wait until Tuesday?
Oh, no, that's next year. Mr. Gribble says it's got to be examined this year.
Daddy?
No.
Gee whiz. You'd think I was a stepchild or something.
Well, I ought to be through by 1 anyway, so it won't be too bad. If I get through earlier, I'll come home for lunch. How's that?
Oh, that'll be fine, dear. Oh, Jim, you forgot the paper.
Paper? Oh, the thing with the Hottentot. Okay, let me have it.
There you are, dear.
Thank you. Be a good girl.
I will.
So long, kids.
Bye, Father.
If I don't call you by noon, I'll have my lunch downtown.
All right, dear. Drink your milk, Kathy.
All I ever do is drink milk.
What happened to my other rubber?
I don't know, dear. Did you look in the closet?
Oh, never mind. I've got it. Goodbye.
Goodbye,
Bye.
dear. Bud, I wish you'd learn not to annoy your father at breakfast.
I didn't do anything. All I said was...
Oh, dear. Now what?
Oh, it sounded like he fell down.
Oh,
How could he fall down? I put ashes on the sidewalk.
Jim, darling, what happened?
My back. My poor broken back.
You fell down, huh, Dad?
Yes, I fell down. Why didn't you put ashes on the steps?
You didn't say to put ashes on the steps. You just said to put them on the sidewalk in the driveway.
Margaret, where did I put that paper?
I don't know, dear.
Never mind, I've got it.
Gosh, I'm sorry,
Just
Dad.
a moment. If to hoot and to toot a Hottentot be taught by a Hottentot tutor, ought the tutor get hot if the Hottentot hoot and toot at the Hottentot tutor. Bud,
Yes, Dad?
put ashes on the steps.
Well, nobody can say Father isn't trying. This time of year, good resolutions are mighty important to a man. Of course, good coffee, truly good coffee, like our Maxwell House, well, that's important the whole year round. How much it means, that wonderful good to the last drop flavor. No other coffee gives it to you. No coffee but Maxwell House. There's a reason for this, a good one. It's a recipe. The only recipe in the entire coffee world for that famous good to the last drop flavor. After all, what's the most important thing about coffee? Sure, it's flavor. And that flavor depends on the blend, the kind of coffees you choose for it, and how you put them together. Now, in different countries, on different plantations, coffee is grown in countless varieties, and you can combine them in many, many ways. But here's the point. There's only one way, one recipe for our famous Maxwell House flavor.
How to have fun, anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.
VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Recently, a new client called me and started by saying, "Mr. Morgan, I really need your help, but I'm just a nobody." Those words stunned me, and I immediately called him back, and we're now helping him and his family after a terrible accident. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Everybody who comes to our firm at their time of need is a somebody. I grew up poor, but my grandmother was like a queen to us. At Morgan & Morgan, our goal is to level the playing field for you and your family at your time of need. The insurance company has unlimited money and resources. You need a firm who can fight them toe-to-toe. For right at 30 years, we have fought them in courtrooms throughout America. Our results speak for themselves. And always remember this, everybody is a somebody, and nobody is a nobody. Visit forthepeople.com to learn about our firm. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
And this recipe of ours makes the great big difference between just any coffee and wonderfully good coffee that can add something friendly and cheering to every day of the year ahead. So think about it. If good coffee really means something to you, why don't you start enjoying America's favorite brand? Yes, tomorrow and every day. Enjoy Maxwell House coffee. It's always good to the last drop.
In the white frame house on Maple Street, lunchtime has come and gone. As a matter of fact, so is dinner time, and Jim Anderson still hasn't returned. The rest of the family is eaten, but Father, just a minute. Here he comes now.
Mr. Gribble, of all the miserable, ill-mannered, inconsiderate, unreliable creatures it has ever been my misfortune to meet...
Jim, is that you?
I'll be in a minute, Margaret. You, Mr. Gribble, take the first, second, and third prizes. I wouldn't care if you owned a dozen factories. You want to place your insurance with another office, it's perfectly all right with me.
Oh, Jim, dear, we've been awfully worried. And who are you talking to?
Mr. Gribble, that puny excuse for a foghorn.
Mr. Gribble? Is he here?
I don't know where he is. I've been waiting for him all day, and he still hasn't shown up. First it was 10 o'clock, then 1 o'clock, then 3, then 5.
What's the matter, Dad? Anything wrong?
No, everything's fine. Just dandy.
We saved your dinner for you, dear.
I had a sandwich downtown. The nerve of the guy, keeping me in the office a whole day, and then doesn't even have the decency...
Jim.
What is it, Margaret?
To hoot and to toot.
Oh, hoot and toot my foot. Even a Hottentot has a right to get mad once in a while.
Well, I suppose you know best, dear.
Dad.
I wouldn't care if it were just an ordinary business day. I could understand that.
Dad.
But he knew I was going to the office just to meet him. He knew it was a holiday weekend.
Say, Dad.
There wasn't another office open in the entire building. Nobody to talk to. Nothing.
Dad.
What?
What?
What is it? What do you want?
I found the tire chains.
Good.
They're busted.
Oh, I don't know. This was such a nice year. Why did it have to end like this? What's wrong with the chains, Bud?
They're a mess. Kathy really fixed them.
I did not. I didn't even touch them.
All right, Kathy, never mind. Margaret.
Yes, dear.
Do you suppose Kathy could have dictaphones planted around the house?
I wouldn't think so, dear.
Then how could she hear us clear out in the kitchen?
Daddy, don't you listen to Bud. I haven't even seen the tire chain since Thanksgiving.
Well, that's when you busted them.
Oh, I did not.
You certainly did.
I certainly didn't.
You certainly did.
I certainly didn't.
All right, kids, please. I can't take any of that tonight. I've got a splitting headache, and I'd like things to be peaceful and quiet just for a little while.
Okay, Dad.
I didn't bust them.
All right, Kathy. Time for your bath and then get ready for bed.
You mean now?
I mean now.
Drink your milk. Take a bath. Go to bed. Boy, am I in a rut.
Jim, maybe if you took a little nap...
Oh, it isn't that bad, honey. I'll be all right if we can manage just a little less confusion around here.
Father, may I talk to you for a minute, please?
Sure, why doesn't everybody talk to me? Let's invite the General Council of the United Nations in for the weekend.
Betty, your father has a headache.
Well, creepers, all I said was, could I talk to him for a minute? What's wrong with that?
Not a thing, Betty. What is it?
Well, Billy Smith said, his father said, that he could have the car. But if it's going to be slippery out, and the radio said it was going to be the worst New Year's Eve we've had in Springfield in over 20 years, And they wouldn't be surprised if we even had more snow before morning. He can't.
If a Hottentot toots a tootin' toot toot.
Betty, this is not the time to annoy your father with Billy Smith's problems.
But, Mother, if it's going to snow...
I'll get it.
Betty, let me put it this way. If a blizzard and 6 other forms of common disaster were to strike Springfield at this particular moment, I still wouldn't care what Billy Smith's father said to Billy Smith.
Hello? Oh, hello. Sure, just a minute. Dad,
Yes?
it's Mr. Smith.
Well, naturally, the way I feel, who else could it possibly be? Hello, Heck.
Say, Jim, you're going to that shindig at the Hathaways, aren't you?
That's right, Heck.
Well, I was just wondering, how'd you like to drive over with us? Got a new car, you know.
Yes, I know, Heck, but Betty said you were going to let Billy have your car.
Yeah, well, that's what I wanted to talk to you about, Jim. You see, the way I figure it, after all, Billy is going with Betty, and I've got a brand new car, and if they get a few scratches on that old heap of yours, it wouldn't make an awful lot of difference. Did you say something, Jim?
It is Ryan Seacrest here. Everybody needs some variety in life. That's what I love about Chumba Casino. They know how to keep things fresh and exciting. All their games are free to play, like spin slots, bingo, and solitaire. You can claim free daily login bonuses, too. And they release new games every week. So spice things up with ChumbaCasino.com now for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply.
Recently, a new client called me and started by saying, Mr. Morgan, I really need your help, but I'm just a nobody. Those words stunned me, and I immediately called him back, and we're now helping him and his family after a terrible accident. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Everybody who comes to our firm at their time of need is a somebody. I grew up poor, but my grandmother was like a queen to us. At Morgan & Morgan, our goal is to level the playing field for you and your family at your time of need. The insurance company has unlimited money and resources. You need a firm who can fight them toe-to-toe. For right at 30 years, we have fought them in courtrooms throughout America. Our results speak for themselves. And always remember this, everybody is a somebody, and nobody is a nobody. Visit forthepeople.com to learn about our firm. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
No, not yet.
Oh, well, like I was saying, now, if you were to let Billy use your old car...
Hoot.
Then we could go in my new car.
Toot.
How about it, Jim?
The Hottentot toots a tootin' tot. Hector?
Yes?
No. Never in all my life have I ever heard anything like that.
What is it, dear?
He wants me to lend Billy my car so his car won't get scratched up. The nerve of the man.
Father, you mean you said no?
I most emphatically said no. Margaret, what's gotten into everybody?
I don't know, dear.
If that isn't the worst example of... I think the whole world is going nuts. And I'm going with them.
But...
Never mind, Bud, I'll answer it. Doesn't want his car scratched up. But if they skid mine into a telephone pole, that'd be all right.
Jim, my boy, I'm terribly sorry. I wouldn't have had this happen for the world.
Oh, well, come on in, Mr. Gribble.
Thank you. I got all tied up with my lawyers, and, well, I can only hope you'll forgive me.
Oh, sure. That's the sort of thing that can happen to anybody. Let me have your coat.
Oh, thank you. I'll just drop it here in the chair.
Jim, if you're going to change your clothes, you better... Oh, hello, Mr. Gribble.
Mrs. Anderson. Well, all dressed up, I see.
Margaret, Mr. Gribble and I are going into the den, but we won't be long.
All right, dear.
Come along, Mr. Gribble.
Thank you.
There's no hurry. I'm going to help Betty dress.
Charming woman, Mrs. Anderson. Absolutely charming. You're a lucky man, Jim. Yes, indeed, a very lucky man.
Thank you. Sit down, Mr. Gribble.
Well, Jim, shall we get started?
Get what?
We got a busy night ahead of us, so let's go to work.
Now, wait a minute. You mean you came out here to go through your insurance tonight?
Well, naturally, this is the 31st. Tomorrow starts a new year. Got to have my affairs in order by midnight.
Why?
Why? Good Lord, man. What do you mean, why? Because? Well, because I've always done it that way. That's why. Now, let's have an end to this foolishness and get to work. Or would you rather I placed my insurance with another organization? What's that?
Mr. Gribble, I made a resolution for the new year. So I want you to notice that I am in complete control of my temper. My hand is steady, my eye is clear, and yet very calmly and with absolute composure, I say, Mr. Gribble, you are an idiot.
He's gone mad.
You know, I think you're right. But this is New Year's Eve. I'm going to a party with my wife. We're going to have a good time. You and your lawyers and your insurance and your big fat factories can go jump into the nearest lake.
He has gone mad.
I'm not Jim Anderson. I'm a Hottentot, and I don't give a hoot. So goodbye, Mr. Gribble. Here's your coat, here's your hat. Goodbye, good luck, and I'll see you around the pool room. Well, business is picking up.
Hiya, Jim.
Oh, you.
Oh, come on in, Hack. Well, thanks. Don't mind if I do. Oh, hello, Mr. Gribble. Goodbye, Mr. Gribble. What's the matter with him?
Too much money. What's your excuse?
Jim, I came over to apologize.
Oh, you did, huh?
You know, I waited a long time for that car, Jim, but, well, heck, I'd rather have an old friend than a new car any day. How about it, Jim?
Sure. Never even happened.
Thanks, pal. Oh, could we pick Elizabeth up on the way to the party?
Where's your car?
Oh, Billy's got it outside. And so help me, if he gets one scratch on it... You don't suppose he will, do you, Jim?
Why, of course not.
Busy little place you got here, isn't it?
Just like living in an alley.
Anderson, I want to talk to you.
All right, let's go back into the den. Will you excuse us, Hack?
Oh, sure. Don't worry about me. I'll take Bud outside and show him the new car.
All right, Mr. Gribble, what's on your mind?
Anderson?
Yes?
Jim?
Yes?
Do you really think I'm an idiot?
Well, when you put it that way, yes.
You know what?
What?
You're right. But you're the first man in 20 years who had the courage to tell me. Jim, I'm not really an idiot. I'm just lonesome.
You?
Uh-huh.
Well, where's your family?
Oh, they go south for the winter. Been doing it for 20 years. And, Jim, I don't mind being alone in that big house, but not on New Year's Eve.
You mean you've been pulling a gag like this for 20 years?
Well, not exactly like this. I've never been caught before.
Well, why didn't you say so? You could have spent the evening with us. You still can.
Oh, you're going to a party.
That's nothing. So are you.
Well, what do you know? And I won't even have to talk about insurance.
Ye gods, now what? Bud! Bud! Bud, what's going on out there?
It's okay, Dad. Mr. Smith pushed the horn and it got stuck.
Oh, fine.
Jim, is anything wrong?
No, dear, everything's all right.
All right. Everything's wonderful. Happy New Year!
This time of year, enthusiasm like Mr. Gribble's is catching, and that's something we're all in favor of. We hope everything's wonderful with you, too. Yes, and during the year ahead, we hope it'll be even more so. For our part, during 1950, we're going to see to it that you enjoy wonderfully good coffee every pound of Maxwell House you open. I know that these days, more than ever before, you're on the lookout for the most in flavor for every penny you spend. And next year, just as every year for more than half a century, That's what you can expect in every pound of our Maxwell House coffee. A generous extra measure of flavor, of freshness and fragrance in every familiar blue tin. And with this promise from Maxwell House, let me extend again our sincerest wishes to you for a very happy and healthy new year.
Ladies and gentlemen, the star of our show, Mr. Robert Young.
Thank you very much. Tonight, for the first time since this program went on the air, I'm stepping out of character to make a personal appeal to our radio audience. During the next year, which is only a few days away, we on Father Knows Best are to be actively associated with the Inter-Industry Highway Safety Committee, an organization formed at the personal request of President Truman. The purpose of this committee is to combat the greatest menace our nation has ever known, a menace which each year takes a greater toll of life than even so fearsome a killer as war. I refer, of course, to the careless, or perhaps just thoughtless, drivers who race with breakneck and foolhardy speed along our open highways and through our city streets.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, you know, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Recently, a new client called me and started by saying, "Mr. Morgan, I really need your help, but I'm just a nobody." Those words stunned me, and I immediately called him back, and we're now helping him and his family after a terrible accident. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Everybody who comes to our firm at their time of need is a somebody. I grew up poor, but my grandmother was like a queen to us. At Morgan & Morgan, our goal is to level the playing field for you and your family at your time of need. The insurance company has unlimited money and resources. You need a firm who can fight them toe-to-toe. For right at 30 years, we have fought them in courtrooms throughout America. Our results speak for themselves. And always remember this: everybody is a somebody, and nobody is a nobody. Visit forthepeople.com to learn about our firm. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
We'll tell you more about it next year, but now we'd like to jump the gun just a little bit. There's a long weekend coming up, and it's been predicted that hundreds of men, women, and children will lose their lives during that 3-day period. Think of it. The National Safety Council anticipates that horrible and unnecessary loss of life. And in the past, they've been unfortunately correct. Now, why don't you do your part this weekend to make them wrong? Have a good time, have a lot of fun, but don't take any chances. Drive carefully, drive thoughtfully, and enjoy the happiest of New Years.
Like good things the easy way.
Good things the easy way.
Instant Maxwell House, that's for you.
Good coffee that's easy too.
No time, no trouble.
No grounds, no fuss.
And it's good to the very last. You know what?
Yes, Instant Maxwell House means great coffee instantly in your cup. Here's real instant coffee, all pure Maxwell House coffee in instant form. Enjoy Instant Maxwell House. Instantly.
Good to the very last. You know what?
Father Knows Best was transcribed in Hollywood and written by Ed James. Join us again next week when we'll be back with Father Knows Best, starring Robert Young as Jim Anderson, with Roy Bargy and the Maxwell House Orchestra, and yours truly, Bill Foreman. So until next Thursday night, for myself and for the makers of Maxwell House Coffee and Instant Maxwell House, let me wish you again a very happy and healthy New Year. Now stay tuned in for Screen Guild Theater, which follows immediately over most of these stations.
James Stewart leads the cast on Screen Guild Theater, next on NBC.
That was Father Knows Best from December 29, 1949. Here is the Jack Benny Show from December 30, 1951, where there is a New Year's Eve date with a French girl.
Be happy, go lucky, be happy, get better taste. Be happy, go lucky, get better taste today.
Lucky's taste better. Friends, LSMFT. Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. Fine, mild, good-tasting tobacco. There's no substitute for fine tobacco, and don't let anybody tell you different. Yes, Lucky's taste better. Because their fine, mild, good-tasting tobacco goes into the cigarette proved, the best made of all 5 principal brands. Let me repeat that. Proved, the best made of all 5 principal brands. That's not an empty claim. That's a fact. Verified by leading laboratory consultants. For example, Crowling and Robertson of Richmond, Virginia, who report, it is our conclusion that Lucky Strike is the best made of these 5 major brands. So don't be misled by double talk. Remember the facts. Enjoy fine, mild, good-tasting tobacco in the cigarette that tastes better, Lucky Strike. So mild, so smooth, so firm and fresh, with better taste in every puff. When you buy cigarettes, remember, Lucky's taste better.
Be happy, go lucky strike today.
The Lucky Strike program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, the Sportsman Quartet, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow will be New Year's Eve. But Jack has invited the gang over today for his annual pre-New Year's celebration. So let's go out to Jack's home in Beverly Hills, where we find Rochester preparing for their arrival.
When you say I beg your pardon, then I'll come back to you. When you ask me to forgive you, I'll return.
Rochester.
Like the swallows at Serrano, return to Capistrano.
Rochester.
Huh? Oh, hello, boss.
Look, Rochester, I appreciate your singing my song, but my gang will be here soon. I want everything to be just right. How are things coming along?
Fine, boss, fine.
What about the eggnog you were going to prepare? Did you make it?
Uh-huh.
How do you fix that eggnog, Rochester?
Just eggs and bourbon.
Of course, I'm not much of a connoisseur of drinks, but that seems rather strange to me. I don't know. I wonder why anyone would ever think of mixing eggs and bourbon.
It's psychological, boss.
Psychological?
Yeah, you see, the egg makes you think you're getting something very helpful.
Uh-huh.
And the bourbon makes that fact unimportant.
Well, that's logical. By the way, Rochester, how much eggnog did you make?
Well, I cut it pretty close. You're having 5 guests, and I figured if there's a little left over, I can always take it to a party I'm going to tomorrow night.
Good, good. How much did you make?
50 gallons.
50 gallons? Hey, Rochester, you got a lot of... Someone at the door, I'll get it. So they took the wheelbarrow and went down...
Hello, Jack.
Oh, hello, Mary. You're the first one here. Come on in.
Say, Jack, how come you're having this party in the afternoon? Every other year you've had it in the evening.
Well, Mary, to tell you the truth, I have a date tonight.
A date? With whom?
Well, you know that pretty French girl, Helene Francois, you know, who was on my last television show?
Oh, yes. Gee, she's beautiful.
Yeah. Tonight I'm going to take her dancing. We're going to Charlie Foy's nightclub. You know, the supper club? You know what, Mary? This Helene Francois, she kind of likes me.
Well, what makes you think so?
Well, when I took her home in a cab, She kept snuggling up to me and whispering in my ear, "Vos chevaux, say shot."
Vos chevaux, say shot?
Yeah, I'll have to look that up.
You don't have to.
Why, what does it mean?
Your toupee is slipping.
Oh, well, at least she cares.
I'll say one thing, Jack. She's a whole lot nicer than that girl you used to go out with, that Gladys Zabisco.
Now, wait a minute, Mary. Gladys Zabisco is a swell girl. She may not be the most beautiful girl in the world, but she's got a nice figure.
I know, but does she have to walk that way?
Mary, that's not her fault. She's nearsighted, and she anticipates the curb in the middle of the block. So don't be critical. Now, come on, Mary. How about a glass of eggnog?
Oh, sure, Jack. Wait a minute. Who made that eggnog?
Rochester.
Uh-uh.
Why, what's the matter?
Well, last New Year's, I tasted some of Rochester's eggnog, and the next thing I knew, I was at the Rose Bowl.
Oh, you saw the game?
Saw it nothing. I was playing left tackle for Michigan.
Oh, stop kidding. How come on one... I'll get it. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Benny. This is Dennis. What time's the party start?
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? If you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. Choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Recently, a new client called me and started by saying, "Mr. Morgan, I really need your help, but I'm just a nobody." Those words stunned me, and I immediately called him back, and we're now helping him and his family after a terrible accident. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Everybody who comes to our firm at their time of need is a somebody. I grew up poor, but my grandmother was like a queen to us. At Morgan & Morgan, our goal is to level the playing field for you and your family at your time of need. The insurance company has unlimited money and resources. You need a firm who can fight them toe-to-toe. For right at 30 years, we have fought them in courtrooms throughout America. Our results speak for themselves. And always remember this: everybody is a somebody, and nobody is a nobody. Visit forthepeople.com to learn about our firm. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
3 o'clock.
Oh, what time is it now?
About 1:30.
Oh, then I guess I won't have enough time to shave.
Dennis, why should it take you an hour and a half to shave?
Haven't got the fuzz yet.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
It takes me 3 months to get a 5 o'clock shadow.
All right. Now hurry over here. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
What a silly kid.
Jack, was that Dennis on the telephone?
Yeah, it was me.
Dennis, how'd you get here so quickly?
Oh, I was on the extension in the kitchen.
Oh.
I would have been here sooner, but I stopped to get a Coke out of the machine.
Well, Dennis, how about having a glass of eggnog?
Oh, boy, eggnog. That's for... Wait a minute. Who made it?
Rochester.
Uh-uh.
Why not?
Last year I tasted some of Rochester's eggnog, and the next thing I knew, Mary was playing in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, I know. Now, look, kids, as soon as we... Come in. Oh, hello, Don.
Hello, Jack.
Hello, Don.
Hi, Mary. Dennis.
Hello.
Come on in.
Don.
I wish somebody would take him out in a wheelbarrow. Don, would you like a drink?
Now, wait a minute, Jack. First, I want to show you something.
What?
Look.
Don, you're wearing the cufflinks I gave you for Christmas. Isn't that nice?
Don, you can take the card off. Everybody knows who gave them to you.
Well, I'm not taking it off. I want to make sure people know what a cheap gift Jack gave me.
What?
Jack, I've been with you 18 years. 18 years of loyalty and devotion. 18 years without missing one program. And you show your appreciation with a pair of lousy $1.98 cufflinks. When?
Talk about appreciation. What are you complaining about? That certainly wasn't such a hot gift you sent me.
What'd he send you, Jack?
A gold watch, a wristwatch yet.
What's wrong with a gold wristwatch?
What's wrong with it? You walk down the street wearing an expensive thing like that, somebody sees it, hits you over the head, takes it away from you, and your money, too. That's what's wrong with it. Anyway, Don, let's shake hands and forget the whole thing.
Okay, Jack. I'm sorry I lost my temper.
That's all right, Don. By the way, would you like a glass of eggnog?
Eggnog? Say, that's one of my favorite... Wait a minute. Who made it?
Rochester. What's the matter with Rochester's eggnog?
Last year I tasted some, and the next thing I knew, Mary and Dennis tackled me in the Rose Bowl.
Everybody comes in with the same... Come in.
Hi, Jackson. Hello, everybody. Happy New Year.
Hello, Phil. Happy New Year, Phil. Happy New Year.
Hey, Jackson, what's the idea of switching this party to a daylight affair? Don't you trust us with the silverware?
That's not it, Phil. I'm going to a nightclub tonight. I got a date.
With a girl?
Well, what do you think, a horse?
Could be. Oats are cheaper than orchids. Oh, Harris, you may not be Montgomery Clift, but you found your place in the sun.
Phil, you can stop with those jokes and find your place under the table. I even put a pillow there. Now, would you like a glass of eggnog?
Eggnog? Now you're talking, Bob. Desperately. Hey, wait a minute. Who made that eggnog?
Rochester.
Lead me to it.
Rochester, will you pour a glass of eggnog for Mr. Harris, please?
Yes, sir. Here you are, Mr. Harris. Thank you, Rog. Hey, tell me, Rog, how do you make this eggnog? I use 1 egg to 5 quarts of bourbon. Check. Well, here's down the hatch. What happened? You sure that egg was fresh?
It's fresh, it's fresh.
Well, here goes.
Well, Phil, how do you like it? Phil, how do you like it?
Hey, Jackson, what are you doing here at the Rose Bowl?
What?
Come on, wheelbarrow. I mean, Stanford.
I'm not at the Rose Bowl yet. Rochester, pour me a ticket. Now, Dennis.
You want me to go in, Coach?
What?
I say, you want me to go in, Coach?
Yeah. Report to the referee and sing a song.
Oh, okay.
Songs were made to sing while we're young. Every day is spring while we're young. None can refuse. Time flies so fast, too dear to lose and too sweet to last. Though it may be just for today, share our love we must while we may. So blue the sky, all sweet surprise shines before our eyes while we're young.
Well, that was swell, Dennis. Well, kids, I have to leave soon to take Helene Francois to Charlie Foy's. Would any of you like to join us?
Well, thanks, Jack, but I can't make it.
No, me neither.
I'd like to go, Jack.
Good, good. How about you, Dennis?
Oh, sure, fine. I'll take Mary.
Okay.
Say, Mary, will you give me a kiss when I take you home?
Well, I don't know, Dennis. I'll think about it.
Well, think fast, sister. I ain't blowing my dough for nothing.
You were blowing that line, though.
Every day when you log into ChumbaCasino.com, the ultimate online social casino, you get a free daily bonus. Imagine if you got daily bonuses in other parts of your life.
I chose French fries over loaded French fries.
I asked Stuart from accounting about his weekend, even though I don't care.
I updated my operating system without having to call tech support.
Collect your free daily bonus at ChumbaCasino.com now. And live the Chumba life. VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Recently, a new client called me and started by saying, Mr. Morgan, I really need your help, but I'm just a nobody. Those words stunned me, and I immediately called him back, and we're now helping him and his family after a terrible accident. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Everybody who comes to our firm at their time of need is a somebody. I grew up poor, but my grandmother was like a queen to us. At Morgan & Morgan, our goal is to level the playing field for you and your family at your time of need. The insurance company has unlimited money and resources. You need a firm who can fight them toe-to-toe. For right at 30 years, we have fought them in courtrooms throughout America. Our results speak for themselves. And always remember this, everybody is a somebody, and nobody is a nobody. Visit forthepeople.com to learn about our firm. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey, Jackson, what are you going out tonight for? Why don't you wait till tomorrow night? That's New Year's Eve.
No, I never go out on New Year's Eve.
Say, boss, why don't you do something different this year and go out?
No, I'm going to do what I always do and spend it at home.
New Year's Eve at home?
Yeah, at 5 minutes to 12, I tiptoe up to Mr. Benny's room, wake him up, he blows a horn, falls back on the pillow, and that's it.
Yeah.
What are you laughing at, Mary?
39, he says.
All right. Now, look, kids, I got to leave now and pick up Miss Francois. Come on, Mary, Dennis, let's go. Yeah, I like it here at Charlie Foy's, don't you, Mary?
Yeah, but Jack, you'll never get a table. It's too crowded.
Yeah, look at those people in that little room. Boy, are they jammed together.
That's the coat room. Those are coats.
Oh, I wondered why they didn't have their pants on.
Never mind, I'll get a table. Come on, Helene, voulez-vous accompagner-moi un tablé?
Oh, l'ambiance de la salle est très intéressante. Je suis si heureuse que vous m'ayez invitée.
Now, let's see, where's the head waiter? Oh, garçon.
How do you do?
Are you the head waiter?
No, I'm wearing this flower in my lapel because I'm going to be afloat in the Rose Parade.
Now, don't be sarcastic. I'd like to get a table for 4.
Well, thank heavens you didn't ask for 5.
Why?
I wouldn't sit with you for $1 million.
Now, cut that out and get us a table.
All right, follow me.
Come on, kids.
Here you are, folks.
Say, this is a pretty good table at that, isn't it, Helene?
C'est très gentil, chérie. Et nous pouvons voir le spectacle.
Oh, oui.
Gee, what a crowd.
Wait a minute, where's Dennis?
Right behind you, mon chéri.
Well, sit down and let's order.
Hey, pardon me, folks, pardon me. Have you seen my wife?
No, we haven't seen her.
Oh, well, thank you. And a happy New Year.
The same to you. Now, let's see. Well, something's going to happen here.
Happy New Year, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jesse Block, your master of ceremonies for the evening. Now,
Now, in just a minute, we're going to have some dancing. But while the orchestra's setting up, I've got a little joke for you. Listen to this, Helene. He's going to tell a joke. Funny thing happened here in the club last night. You know, this is a pretty ritzy place. And last night I saw a waiter carrying something on a flaming sword. So I asked him what it was, and he said, a customer. He only left a dime tip. Hey, that was a pretty good joke, wasn't it, Mary?
What joke? I was here when the fire department came in and squirted water on you.
Oh, stop. Are you having a good time, Helene?
Oh oui, c'est la première fois que je vois un cabaret américain. C'est si différent des cabarets parisiens. Mais il me plaît beaucoup et je vous remercie 1000 fois.
Oh, really?
What'd she say, Jack?
I don't know. Something about how badly she feels that Joe DiMaggio is retiring.
What?
I don't know. Well, I guess we're going to have dancing before the show starts.
Hey, Mary, you want to dance with me?
Oh, sure, Dennis.
Gee, you're a swell dancer, Mary.
Well, thanks, Dennis, but don't hold me so tight.
Okay. Say, Livy, have you ever thought about getting married?
What?
My mother will up my allowance.
Dennis, stop being silly.
If you turn me down, I'll kill myself.
Well, give me a little time to think it over.
Okay, but not too long. There are a lot of dames nuts about me.
I know.
Oh, yeah, name one.
Dennis, look, just be quiet and dance.
Helene, you know, I'm so glad you're with me tonight.
I am glad too, chérie.
You know, this is the first time I... Oh, Helene, there's the fella coming over the table who seems to know you.
Where? Oh oui. Ah, bonjour, mon cher ami.
Hélène, oh, vous ici. Je ne vous avais pas vu depuis que nous étions ensemble sur la Côte d'Azur. Comment allez-vous, ma chère?
Merveilleusement. C'est si bon de vous revoir.
Il faut prendre un rendez-vous. Je serai ici seulement pour quelques jours, vous savez.
Alors téléphonez-moi. Je vous donnerai mon numéro plus tard.
Oui,
et
entendu.
nous nous verrons.
Entendu. Au revoir, ma chère.
Au revoir.
Helene, who was that?
Maxi Rosenblum.
Maxie Rosenblum? Oh, I didn't recognize him. The beret covers up his cauliflower ear. Imagine meeting a...
Pardon me, folks, pardon me. Well, have you seen my wife?
No, we haven't.
Oh, well, thank you. And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Oh, Helene, look, there's the quartet getting up. Look, they're going to sing.
Ask me, how do I feel? Ask me now that we're cozy and clinging. Well, sir, all I can say is if I were a bell, I'd be ringing. From the moment we kissed tonight, that's the way I've just got to behave. Boy, if I were a lamp, I'd light. Or if I were a banner, I'd wave. Ask me, how do I feel now that New Year will be here tomorrow? Well, sir, all I can say, if I needed some money, I'd borrow. And if I were a watch, I'd start popping my spring. Or if I were a bell, I'd go ding-dong, ding-dong, ding. Ask me, why do I choose Lucky Strike for my real smoking pleasure? Well, sir, all I can say, it's the one cigarette that I treasure. From the moment I took one puff, it was Lucky's for little old me. There's a cigarette, sure enough, that is round and as firm as can be. That's why millions of men always say it's for Lucky's they're yearning. So if I were a match boy, I know that I'd surely be burning. And if I were a cigarette, here's what I'd be. I'd be happy-go-lucky like LSMFT.
Okay, sit down, kids. We better order something to eat. Oh, waiter.
Yes?
I think I'll have a ham sandwich.
Yes, sir.
Helene, what do you have?
Oh, alors, je vais décider. Je commencerai avec un potage à la reine, et puis une omelette aux champignons, Alors, une sole meunière, une côtelette de veau garnie et une salade verte.
What was that?
She said she wants mustard on her sandwich. Oh, waiter, change my order. I think I'll have crab Louis. Dennis, tell him what you want.
I'll have spaghetti, Louis.
Spaghetti Louis?
I thought that was the waiter's name.
Of course not.
It is, too.
Louis?
You know, spaghetti.
Spaghetti?
I'm just stringing you along.
What a crazy guy.
Say, pardon me, folks, pardon me. Have you seen my wife?
No, we haven't seen your wife.
Well, if you ever do, you'll know why I'm drunk.
What? Say, Mary, before we eat, suppose you and I have the next... Oh, go away. Ladies and gentlemen, before we start our gala floor show, I'd like to say that we're honored tonight by having with us a very famous celebrity. Oh, I wish they wouldn't do that. Now, this gentleman, whom you all love, is a very popular star of stage, screen, radio, and now television. Mary, give me your comb.
Here you are.
So I take great pleasure in presenting to you that popular idol of millions, Rodney Dangerfield. Here's your comb, Mary. Well, you've all seen Mr. Dangerfield in those outstanding Western pictures, and with a little encouragement, maybe we can get him to say a few words.
Thank you, folks. Thank you kindly. It sure is a thrill and a pleasure to meet so many of my fans.
What a ham.
I'd like to say that my next picture, Quo Vadis Goes West, is going to be even better than my last picture, The Cactus Blooms at Midnight.
You stole that from me.
And now, friends, I'd like to introduce my co-star who's right here at the table with me. Take a bow, Desert Paint.
How do you like that? He even brought his horse. Helene, give me your handkerchief. Thanks.
Anyway, you folks didn't come to hear me talk all night, so I just wanted...
Pardon me, Mr. Dangerfield, but would you please put your autograph on this menu?
Why, certainly, miss.
Thank you.
So, folks, I just want to wish you a very happy and prosperous New Year.
Imagine introducing a ham like Rodney Dangerfield. Come on, kids, let's get out of here.
But, Jack, we ordered food.
I don't care what we order. Let him give it to the horse. I'm going home. Come on, Helene. I wouldn't stay here. Ladies and gentlemen, we have another celebrity with us tonight. None other than that very famous star, Jack Benny. Well.
Are you going to stay now, Jack?
Certainly. What are you mad about? Sit down, Helene. Ladies and gentlemen, Master of Ceremonies, my worthy colleague, Mr. Dangerfield, and... Why don't you turn your head? Ladies and gentlemen, for a moment I want you to forget that I'm Jack Benny, that scintillating star of stage, screen, radio, and now television. I want to talk to you as one of your friends. I want to take this opportunity to wish all of you and yours, and everybody all over the world, good health and happiness throughout the year. And now I'd like to tell you just a few things about my next show. My next show is... Jack will be back
back in just a moment, but first...
Be happy, go lucky, get better taste today.
Lucky's taste better. So mild, so smooth, so firm and fresh, with better taste in every puff. Yes, friends, Lucky's taste better. Because their fine, mild, good-tasting tobacco goes into the cigarette proved the best made of all 5 principal brands. Let me repeat that. Proved the best made of all 5 principal brands. That's not an empty claim. That's a fact, verified by leading laboratory consultants. For example, Foster D. Snell of New York City, who report, In our opinion, the properties measured are all important factors affecting the taste of cigarette smoke. We conclude that Lucky Strike is the best made of the 5 major brands. And don't forget, LSMFT, Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. Fine, mild, good-tasting tobacco. There's no substitute for fine tobacco. And don't let anybody tell you different. So don't be misled by double talk. Remember the facts. Enjoy fine, mild, good-tasting tobacco in the cigarette that tastes better. Lucky Strike. When you buy cigarettes, remember, Lucky's taste better.
Be happy, go lucky, strike today.
Ladies and gentlemen, soon it will be 1952. And I would like to wish all of you prosperity and happiness for the coming year. But let us all hold foremost the thought that 1952 will bring better understanding between nations and peace to the world. Happy New Year, folks.
Transcribed, this is the CBS Radio Network.
That was The Jack Benny Show from December 30th, 1951, titled as a New Year's Eve date with a French girl. Well, that's it for the Airchecks episode for this week, and we hope we see you next year with more episodes. Airchecks is a 3-hour podcast uploaded every Saturday as well as broadcast every Sunday on the K-Tai Radio Network. See you at the same time and same channel.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply.
Over the last 75 years, over 10,000 chemicals have been introduced to our food supply. Yet the EU only allows 300 food additives. But at Thrive Market, we bring our members the highest quality brands and restrict more than 1,000 ingredients found at conventional grocery stores. Making the switch is easy with our Healthy Swaps scanner, which finds better versions of all your favorite pantry, snacking, and home essentials without the added junk, dyes, and fillers. Plus, it's all delivered straight to your door. So if you're looking to shop at a grocery store that actually cares about your health, Go to thrivemarket.com/podcast and you'll get 30% off your first order and a free gift.